This video contains subject matter that may be offensive and disturbing to some people. If you are the type to require a warning throughout a video or show, let this message serve as your warning. This channel discusses the harsh reality of true crime. If this warning is not sufficient for you, consider a different genre and unsubscribe from my channel immediately.
It's the house!
There's mosquitoes the size of bald eagles in that dadgum swamp.
What's going on, freaks? Hey, look at my... It's gotta be smaller. There you go. Now you can see it. There we go. That's right. Hey, thanks for the pre-show super chat wave from some people. Yep. So I don't know, I'm still working on my other screen. You know, now I've got it kind of like this, you know, where you got the dogs in the lower left. Everything's kind of going around. The super chats show up in the super chats show up in the upper right hand corner there. And I'm trying to do like have the freak pictures, and I put everybody's picture in one folder, but I think Streamlabs has like a cutoff where it only does like 20, so you might see I gotta still work on that or something, but or maybe I'll just rotate out every single day, different people. You know, just take 20, put it in the folder, take 20. See, look at there's Cairo holding blue right there. And now at the bottom, if I take like Stacy's comment, it goes right there at the bottom. And this idiot right there, and God, right off the gate, there's a troll in here. That's hilarious. Yeah. Yep. And there's this crazy case that happened right over here. It's going on still. I mean, it's probably solved at this point, but there was a missing person in Vancouver, Washington. A woman and her daughter. Yeah, man. When you guys, I'm gonna do that one. You know, it'll be part of the update. Well, it'll be one of the stories, but it'll be before we do. Finish up on Leticia Stauch, part 2 of the arrest warrant. Now, you like the setup, Stacy? Yeah, it's not bad. You know, you got the Blue and Chloe cam, the freaks. You know, the Grant Hughes investigates donations because of the freaks. Over since 2020, $140,250. Then you got the pictures people send in wearing the stuff, a clock just for your convenience. I can put whatever I want in those squares though. So like there might be a night where I put something else, but I don't know. I might build my own set in 3D Studio Max. You know, make it look more 3D-ish. So who knows? We'll see how it goes. Yeah. Yeah, you don't have to watch the clock. I don't know. I'm not sure what days the trials will be. There might be some overlap. That would kind of suck, I guess. Thanks for joining, Kelly Snyder. I thought a lot of you guys were already members. Some of these ones that are. And thank you for gifting one. Christy Kazi. Okay, so the first update, really quick one. Yeah, remember this case the other day of Josh Amos? What's this thing? Yeah. Updated information on missing Josh Amos, last seen in Washington Park, Illinois on Sunday morning. We now know Josh traveled to Jackie Joyner Kersey Station at 6 a.m. That's a track athlete, by the way. And so, remember he was at the Scarlet Cabaret right here. And they made it sound like he headed this direction. I think they said that. But they know at 6 a.m. he shows up at this, apparently this is some sort of a bus station right here, I guess. But it looks more like a tram. Right? I mean, yeah, one of those trams like we have them down in Portland. Electrical. So he got on a tram there. And then he somehow ended up over here at Emerson Park. Right there. Then from there he walked. So that was 6 a.m. And then from here he walked back over this direction for some reason. And to this EJ's, whatever EJ's is here. It's some kind of not really sure what it is. You know, let me look down at the ground here. Yeah, I mean, there's something, a place called EJ's. Maybe it's a place you can eat breakfast or something. I really have no idea. It's well, let's click on it. I think if I put the places button on, yeah, and click on it. Oh, it's a transport something. Let's see, hold on. Trucking company. So for some reason he was over here. Yeah. I was kind of wondering why would he be there, and still don't know why he would be there. And so Illinois State Police are now helping to search for him. So he was last seen here at this trucking or shipping company here. And that's all they have. But he was still moving around the next day, walking around doing things. So that's good news, that he was still doing things. But he does have some mental issues, I think. So we'll just keep an eye out on that one for the time being. Sorry, it wasn't a bigger update, but that's all there is. Okay, so now we're going to do this. There was a missing person case in Vancouver of Meshay Melendez and 8-year-old Layla Stewart. Okay, so we're going to go back to 2017 here. And here's this guy. Man jailed on murder charge after victim's body found in a ditch. This is December 12, 2017. A 22-year-old man is facing murder charge after a man was found dead in a ditch near Stuttgart. Arkansas State Police say Kirkland Warren of Pine Bluff was arrested for first-degree murder and is being held at the Jefferson County Detention Center. I think when we go through this, I think you'll probably agree that it's one of the worst sort of dropping the ball of officials I've ever seen. I mean, it's just disgusting. State police were asked to assist the Arkansas County Sheriff's Department on Monday when the body of an unidentified man was found in a roadside ditch off Highway 79 and Gingrich Road. The body was sent to Arkansas State Medical Examiner's Office for positive identification and to determine the cause of death. It says the State Police Criminal Investigation Division will prepare an investigative file and submit its findings to Jefferson County prosecutor. So this is back in Arkansas, this guy right here. Then another, there's actually on their Arkansas State Police Facebook page from back then. I mean, this is from 6 years ago, or 5.5 years ago or so. Kirkland Warren, 22 of Pine Bluff, has been arrested and being held in the Jefferson County Center on first-degree murder charges in connection with a homicide investigation being led by special agents of the Arkansas State Police Criminal Investigation Division. Hey, hold on a second. I gotta share my video really quick. I forgot to put it on Twitter. Just a second. And right now we've got only 7 days left to the end of the month, you guys. So we need to keep up a decent rate going in, and we had a good pre-show, but it just went. So if you guys would like to help support the Grant Hughes Investigates channel, and thus allowing me to do what I do, where I decided I'm going to donate over 50% of the net revenue to true crime related charities. And so far this year, you can see over there on the left, $13,500 and $140,000 since January 2020. And the only way to make it work, everybody, is this: every night there is support, because there is absolutely zero income on the show itself in terms of ad revenue. They always demonetize every single true crime live stream that I've ever put out. Okay, and I don't know why it's like that, but it just is. And so you guys are it. So thank you very much. I appreciate it. Thanks, K-Dog. All right, so this is back in 2017. Okay.
Waving hand.
And then we're gonna move to today. Or what I'll do is I'll go over this timeline really quick. I mean, this is crazy. Listen to how ridiculous this is. So these are the two people that were missing: Meshay Melendez and Layla Stewart, 7 years old. Okay? So the following information comes from court records filed in Clark County Superior and District Courts and Jefferson County Circuit Court in Arkansas. Here's a timeline right here. Thanks, Lane Dune. November 27, 2017, Kirkland Warren shoots his passenger, Curtis Urquhart. I don't even know how to pronounce that. Urquhart is like U-R-Q-U, probably like Uquart or something, with a .22 caliber handgun after Urquhart repeatedly asks for money and dumps his body in a ditch near Stuttgart. Warren later admits to shooting him, but he tells investigators he feared for his life, so therefore it was all okay and everything. Warren is arrested in Arkansas in connection with the November homicide. December 13, 2017, Warren posts a $250,000 bond in his homicide case. So he was able to somehow post bond. I mean, they probably thought $250,000 would be enough, but he was able to come up with, get a bond and, secure it somehow. On February 7, 2018, criminal charges of first-degree murder and abuse of a corpse are filed in Arkansas case. Then in 2020, Vancouver police, so he moved all the way from Arkansas to Vancouver, Washington, investigate Warren for possession of a stolen semi-automatic handgun. Officers contact him, and he surrenders it. The firearm remains in evidence. March 31st, 2021, Warren lies on an application to buy a 9mm semi-automatic handgun at Safe Fire in Camas, Washington. He says he's not under indictment for a felony when he has the pending murder case in Arkansas. His application is denied. Excuse me. December 13th, 2022, Warren and Meshay Melendez argue at her Minnehaha area apartment. He subsequently leaves and shoots at Melendez's balcony window as she looks outside. This is December 13th, like not even, like 4 months ago. December 23rd, 2022, Melendez calls 911 to report this Warren. This is the same guy from 2017 that murdered somebody. They're dating at this point. So December 23rd, 2022, Melendez calls, or were dating, calls 911 to report Warren assaulted her. She also reported the shooting from 10 days prior. So 2 different things, right? Then on February 3rd, just a month and a half ago, law enforcement interviews a friend who was present during the shooting and corroborates Melendez's account. So this person saw this happen. February 17th, 2023, Melendez meets with investigators and recants her earlier statement. I mean, that's an absolutely classic situation in domestic violence like that, where she's just going to, she recants it, even though it's all been, somebody witnessed it. There was a shooting, he attacked her, and then she recants it. She says she lied about the shooting and claims that she and her friend have mental health and drug issues to explain away their earlier statements. She wants assurance Warren won't be arrested. Investigators deem this to be suspicious. So she's like, hey, you got to make sure you don't arrest him. Probably because he threatened her. He said, if I get arrested, when I get out, I'm going to, like that. So on March 2nd, about 3 weeks ago, Vancouver police arrest Warren. March 3rd, Warren makes first appearance in Clark County Superior Court on suspicion of second-degree domestic violence assault, drive-by shooting, making a false statement, harassment, and possession of a stolen firearm between the series of alleged incidents. Right? Then right here it says, Clark County prosecutors say a danger assessment found Warren poses an extreme risk to Melendez. So they're actually saying right here, Clark County prosecutors say, thank you, Christy Kazi. Thank you. Clark County prosecutor say a danger assessment found that Warren poses an extreme risk to Melendez with a score of 31 on a scale of 1 to 18. I mean, he's not even he's like so far outside of it. They also note the active homicide case in Arkansas. They asked Warren to be held on just $100,000 bail. Judge Susan Clark grants the prosecution's request, citing the but you already know that he's got a warrant for. He skipped town. He literally left Arkansas. He got a bail and he took off. Hours later, so Clark also orders a domestic violence no contact order with Melendez. Hours later, Warren violates the domestic violence no contact order by calling Melendez twice from the Clark County jail. He suggests she's responsible for his arrest and needs to get his charges dropped. Melendez, this is Meshay, his girlfriend, says she's trying to get the charges to go away. Warren says he's not going back to Arkansas. Thanks, Cheyenne R. All right, then Warren posts bail later that day. So somehow he's able to come up with another 10 grand. But he's cited in Clark County District Court for violating the domestic no contact order with Melendez. March 6, 2023, Warren appears in custody in District Court on the citation. Vancouver Police Sergeant Deb Libby, who authored the probable cause affidavit, asked the court to order Warren wear a GPS monitor if released and be subject to higher bail. Judge Kristen Parcher ordered $10,000 bail and electronic monitoring for domestic violence offenders who are released pending trial.
Love to everyone. Profound heart.
Thanks, Cheyenne. March 7th, so we're just like 3 weeks ago. The district court case is dismissed, and the allegations are later added to Warren's Superior Court case. He is not fitted with a monitor before the case is dismissed. Warren is released from jail. on March 8th. March 11th, Melendez, Layla, Warren stay the night at a friend's apartment in Van Mall neighborhood. March 12th, 2023, Melendez and Layla, those are the two missing people, are last seen that morning with Warren leaving his Burgundy Dodge Charger. On March 14th, Jefferson County Chief Deputy Prosecutor Seinberg Tadlock files a motion to revoke Warren's bond in his 2018 murder case in Arkansas. March 17th, a judge in Arkansas revokes Warren's bond in that case. March 18th, 2023, Melendez's mother reports her and Layla's missing after she can't reach them for their regular video chat session, and friends express concern over being unable to contact them for a week. Vancouver police conduct a welfare check at Melendez and Layla at their Minnehaha area apartment. They are not there. March 19, 2023, just 5 days ago, Melendez's mother finds her daughter's car, a Chrysler 200, in the 7800 block of Northeast Lewitt Loop in the Van Mall neighborhood. Vancouver police serve a search warrant for Warren's vehicle and residence in the Kavanaugh Park neighborhood, and he is arrested. Vancouver police issue a missing person bulletin. March 20th, 2023, Warren appears in Superior Court on new allegations of tampering with witness. And by the way, this is the Columbian. It's a really good paper over there. Second-degree unlawful possession of firearm and protection order violation. Clark County prosecutor asks that Warren be held without bail, or that his bail increase from $100,000 to $500,000. Judge John Fairgrieve postpones the hearing a day and asks the prosecution for more information about the basis for the new allegations. He does not make a decision on bail. Warren remains in custody. The Arkansas judge order to revoke Warren's bond is filed with Jefferson County, Arkansas Circuit Court. March 21st, Warren appears in Superior Court on new allegations. Fairgrieve finds probable cause. Clark County prosecutor asks Fairgrieve to order Warren to be held without bail or increase his bail from $100,000 to $1 million, and order he wear a GPS ankle device if released. Fairgrieve orders the $1 million bail and electronic monitoring. Vancouver police name Warren a person of interest in Melendez and Layla's disappearance. Investigators also release the description of the vehicle, of the involved vehicles. March 22nd, Warren appears in Superior Court on a warrant for Arkansas case. He admits he's the person wanted in Arkansas, but he refuses to waive extradition to be turned over to authorities there. Judge Robert Lewis orders Warren to be held without bail on the warrant. Two bodies are discovered on Wednesday. Two bodies are discovered down an embankment in thick brush off Southeast Wooding Road near Sunset View Road. The Vancouver Police Department tentatively identify them as Melendez and Layla. I mean, this is ridiculous, okay? This is one of those ones where, like, law enforcement had the goods right in front of their face, and some dumbass judge probably went, yeah, we don't really know about the one in Arkansas. We were just... I mean, it's just disgusting. Anyways, so let me show you this here. Yeah, so
someone who was walking on this rural road in Washougal. The caller described what they believed to be two life-sized mannequins down an embankment near a creek. But when deputies arrived on scene, they discovered two bodies. Investigators contacted Vancouver police, who determined this was likely Meshay Melendez and Layla Stewart.
This is probably our missing mother and daughter. The major crimes unit from the sheriff's office.
And so where this is, let me show you the layout here. Hold on, let me get to the right case here. Just a second, I lost it. There it is. Yeah, so this was her apartment that she lived in right there. And then her vehicle was found in this mall area here, the 7800 Northeast Lewitt Loop. And then they just found their bodies up here, kind of on this random road. And there's a basically the shot that you see on the news is right here, looking up this road. If you were looking in the
Stewart.
This is probably our missing mother and daughter. The major crimes unit from the sheriff's office is kind of handling the investigation.
Yeah, that shot right there. It's pretty much this road. And thanks, Griminator. Man, thank you. That was a slow one again. And right here, I think this is that greenhouse that we were just looking at a minute ago. Let's see if we can...
This is probably our missing mother and daughter. The major crimes unit from the...
Yeah, right there. That little greenhouse is right there. So likely, you know, down in this area over here, since this is pretty much, you know, you'd see it really quickly there. So maybe they were dumped down in this area, sadly. And man, I mean, what a nightmare. It's just ridiculous.
Sheriff's office is kind of handling the investigation as a homicide investigation, so detectives and crime scene folks are up there.
A Washington State Patrol forensics team joined the investigation, collecting evidence and speaking with neighbors on Southeast Wooding Road, which was roped off for hours.
The medical examiner's office will obviously be the final confirmation for anybody's identity like that, but, you know, wanting to be able to kind of provide that update.
I mean, how did they not do something? Are you kidding me? He's got a warrant for murder from Arkansas. And then he shoots at a woman, and she reported it, and then she recanted. You know that's complete garbage, right, at that point. And then they forgot that they didn't put on his ankle monitor either.
Versus, you know, just having people wonder.
The 27-year-old and her 7-year-old daughter were missing for more than a week. Last seen near Northeast Vancouver Mall Drive and 77th Avenue. Meshay's boyfriend, Kirkland Warren, is officially a person of interest in their disappearance. He was arrested earlier this month, accused of domestic violence.
He was supposed to wear one. That was the order.
Meshay. Warren appeared in court Wednesday morning, though his hearing was connected to a murder he is accused of committing in Arkansas.
Now we strategize on how to get justice for these two beautiful souls.
Michelle Bart leads the National Women's Coalition Against Violence and Exploitation and is the spokesperson for the family.
No, we support RAIN.
Community support, and we ask that people respect the privacy of the family while they process and grieve. Bart says on Thursday they will be starting a memorial fund for two.
Thanks for watching our YouTube.
And grieve.
Oh, this is Portland. That's not
Justice for these two beautiful souls.
Well, it's NBC Portland.
Michelle Bart.
Anyways, how ridiculous is that? You know, it just makes you. Nobody was there to protect anybody. They just let a monster, back out on the street, and he kills two people. That just sucks. God. A lot of people like that out there, Stacy. A lot of people like that. Ah, man. I don't even know how to... It's just such a shitty... It's almost embarrassing, you know? Well, it is embarrassing. It's just sick. A second. Yeah. Family member, let me see what this one says. Authorities found 2 bodies believed to be those of a missing Vancouver a woman, and her 7-year-old daughter in a rural area east of Washougal. The Clark County Sheriff's Office responded at about 9:40 a.m. to report of suspicious circumstances. A man walking his dog reported finding what he thought were 2 life-size mannequins down an embankment in thick brush off Southeast Wooding Road near Sunset View Road, according to the agency. When deputies arrived about an hour later, they found 2 people dead. Vancouver police detectives were notified soon after and responded. The police department tentatively identified the bodies as Meshay Carmen Melendez, 27, and her daughter Layla Stewart. She was 8. Family members were notified. According to Vancouver police, the Clark County Medical Examiner's Office will release their cause and manner of death. The Sheriff's Office Major Crime Unit is investigating the scene where they were found, which Skidmore said is considered a homicide investigation. The family is grateful for the community support, and we ask that people respect the privacy of the family while they process and grieve.
Chewbacca?
Hey, thanks, Kennedy Woodward-Stone.
I am sick of criminals being treated with kid gloves. Our system has
That's-
gone to hell in a handbag.
It's ridiculous.
Pouting face.
And it doesn't shock me at all because it's Washington. And Oregon would be exactly the same. Yeah, this same guy in Florida, there's no chance that would have happened. I guarantee it. Hey, thank you, Susie Clue. And for all of you out there, let's reimagine the police. You're idiots, okay? I'm just going to say it. And that's what you get when you reimagine, like, not just police, though. It's the system. You know, we can't really keep people, you know, there's always a better chance. You know, let's just, come on, everybody. Let's reimagine things. Whenever you hear the word reimagine, you're about to hear a bunch of absolute garbage, okay? Disgusting stuff is about to come out of somebody's mouth right after that. And what I just told you is the truth. I don't know. They talk about it all the time. It's just it's the policy of leniency is what we've got over here. John Dunn. No, Florida's great. Jeez. I mean, Florida has awesome law enforcement, and they get shit done. Right. Let's see, hold on. Here's what I would do. Okay, how about this? I reimagine the police with way more police officers and better training. How about that? I don't reimagine a world where we pretend that sitting in a circle, you know, singing Kumbaya, you know, is really going to work. Okay, it doesn't work. Yeah. Oh, God, man, that story just had me angry all day, basically. The mother and daughter were last seen the morning of March 12th with Melendez's former boyfriend, Kirkland Warren. According to investigators, Melendez's mother reported the pair missing Saturday after she couldn't reach them for their regular video chat. Vancouver police spokeswoman Kim Kapp said the department considers the missing persons case closed, calling it a very tragic resolution. Tragic. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
We love our Papa Freak Great.
Thanks, Scouting Dude. Vancouver spokeswoman, very tragic. Okay, Cap was unsure Wednesday evening if Warren 28 is a suspect in their deaths. Yeah, okay, right, okay. Today is a very dark day. It's never easy to get this kind of news, and our heart goes out to the family. But let me make one thing clear. As hard as we all fight as advocates and nonprofits against violence, things like this do not need to happen, says Michelle Bart, president, co-founder of Northwest NWCAVE. Right, it sure doesn't. Yeah, we were just on, Portland was just on Fox News yesterday. You know, about all the tents and all kinds of shit. And people just fighting and brawling right in the middle of the road, street, downtown, you know. Absolute embarrassment. If you guys want to live in a society like that, you keep reimagining things, okay? And you're going to reimagine yourself into a hellhole of a world. I can tell you that right now. Well, Gray, what about just things like... I don't care. Many of the neighborhoods where I work in Portland would welcome more... Yeah. I can guarantee that. Except, guess what? They're the same people that probably voted in the people who like to reimagine police. That's the part I can't stand, is the hypocrisy. And I said it before the other day, you know, like, people... they move out of San Francisco because it's garbage. And when they move somewhere, they start voting in the same types of people that they voted in when they were in San Francisco. How about you vote in the other side at that point? The reason you left, for God's sakes. Doesn't anybody get frustrated with the same thing? It's a nightmare. I mean, honest to God, you leave, oh, I got to get the hell out of Portland, man. I got to get the hell out of here. But I'm going to bring my same political beliefs to a place that made it safe and vote in the same piles of shit that you voted in where you lived before, creating that problem. Okay? If you don't understand that, then there's something wrong with your brain. Okay? And that's why I call it's almost like a, what do you call it? Like locusts, you know, just kind of, you know, feeding off of something. Oh, gotta get the hell out of here. We gotta get somewhere else. And then you just keep taking over places, creating a hellhole for everybody. All right, good. Hey, all right. I'm glad you all agree with what I just said. Now, I don't know what you call it, but it's just, you know, and it's just bizarro world. Okay, bizarro world. And you know, and the sad part is what I just said always offends somebody when really they should be looking and going, you know what? That's absolutely right. Instead they go, oh, Gray was probably talking about somebody like me. Well, don't be that. Okay. Let's get this crap back together again. The lawlessness, the destruction of malls and other places of employment and businesses for all these people still to this day being trashed on a daily basis. Why are we okay with that? Well, it's, you know, we just had 2 Walmarts leave Portland. A place that actually had food. You know, it's not a 7-Eleven down the street.
100%.
Right, exactly, Tosh.
And work in neighborhoods in North Portland and on the east side and then vote. 100% Grey. It is a bizarro world.
It really, it is. It's so weird that people don't see what I just said. I mean, literally what I just said is absolutely the truth. There would be people that would argue it because they want to, but there isn't one. It makes me so angry. And guess what? You know what? Here's something funny. The same people that moved from California to Oregon have now moved out of Oregon somewhere else. What do you think they just did? They turned whatever place they just went into another California again. After leaving Oregon in the same condition that California is in, like San Francisco and other places. They come up to Oregon. Now we are just an absolute hellhole. then they move somewhere else, and they're going to turn that place into the same thing, but they left here because they don't like the lawlessness. All right. Anyways, there you go, everybody. I'm glad you enjoyed the little rant there. Anybody disagree with? I mean, go ahead. I mean, it's okay if you disagree. You'll just be wrong, and that's just the reality. I really don't have any, there's no answer for it, you guys. There isn't really, well, Gray, this one time I was... Yeah. Yeah, they're going to Vancouver, and they're going to turn, Vancouver is going to look the same in just a few years. Mark keeps going, Put a word in there, Mark, or I'll put you on timeout. If you don't type a word in and you type in a cogent sentence on the next one, we're going to time you out. Okay? The and the... Okay. Get out of here. This guy's a clown. See. Yeah. God, what a bunch of jokers. Unbelievable. All right, let's get on now to the Leticia Stauch, or Stauch, or whatever the hell you want to call it. I think it's Stauch. We're going to go to page, I think it was 18 that we were on, right? And yesterday, we had a lot of crazy stuff yesterday. We had the blood on the floor. I mean, they just have her completely boxed in on the timing of various things. But if you missed yesterday, you'd have to go back and watch it. Hey, wow, thanks, Tosh. Jeez. Thanks for telling it like it is, Gray. And in other news, hit that like button. Well, there you go. Sadly, whenever I say stuff like I just said, people end up unsubscribing because it's just too much. They came here to listen to true crime. But I don't really care, okay? Because it is true crime. That is what that is. Crime dissector, I'm a certified human detector. Gonna get ya on a stretcher, you translating like an old projector. Crime sector is my nectar, gonna give another lecture. Crime collector, freak connector, animal's gonna be a puppet detector. Fool's reflector, interceptor, and I mean another. Wow, that's hard to do that one fast. The avocado dance.
Thanks for telling it like it is great. And in other news, hit that like button freaks. Thumbs up.
That's right. Wait, what? Oh, jeez. Hey, Mag. Another one. Down music, true best of we do what's supposed to do. You might not have heard, or maybe you have an offer, heard it all day while flat. Used to get angry and all uptight. You can say what you want to spell my name right. All I'm never guilty of stalking a house. That's what the rumor was all about. It's me as we dance down all your friends, and if don't wait till you see me again. That's why you can hear from the horse's mouth right then and there. You straighten it out. Boom. Thank you. Yeah, avocado. Yeah. Okay. I think we were just starting page 18, but maybe we'll just start on the 119 right there. I like the avocado too. All right. I like eating avocado as well, you know, so. Especially when it's perfect, you know, when you cut it open and there's no brown of any kind, and it's soft enough, and there's just like this perfect moment. Yeah, the merch picture thing, I have every single person in there, but it's Streamlabs doesn't seem to, or OBS Studios, I mean, doesn't seem to rotate through them all. It kind of just keeps the same, I don't know, first 20 or so. So I'll have to figure out a different way. Maybe every night have a different set or something, but don't know. I've got like 100 of them at least. You know what's really good is rye toast with avocado spread on there with salt on it. So good. I mean, it's almost nothing better than that. I mean, it's just one of those perfect foods when you get it just right, you know. Oh well. I don't even know how to spell avocado. I just eat it. I know what they look like and I eat them. Let's see. Yeah, a cut avocado and a spoon. Yeah. You know what's really good on avocado is lemon juice. Try that next time. Just put a little bit on the side and dip a piece into it and eat it. You'll be kind of surprised. I guarantee it. Now I want to go eat one. Yeah, you should try it, Carla. Yeah, a little salt there, yeah. Yeah, try it. Yeah, it's good stuff. All right, here we go. We're going to do Leticia Stauch now. On January 29th, so we've already gone through all the stuff, but on January 29th, 2020, investigators recovered a piece of carpet from the utility room with possible blood stains. The recovery of the carpet tends to further support the positive alerts from the Blue Star region. So they got that in the corner of the room where Gannon was killed. And we learned yesterday that she took him somewhere in the morning and then came back with him early afternoon. And I can see a shadow of his get out the back on the right side of the car and into the house. And they think he came home and then he was killed. And we played yesterday the interview, and we played that she did with the reporter, and the press conference originally that occurred. On January 29, 2020, investigators found in the dishwasher multiple carpet brushes with suspected carpet fibers on them, and the dishwasher appeared to have been run. Investigators believe these brushes were used to clean up the murder scene. To be clear, no formal testing was completed to confirm the fibers on the brushes were carpet. Investigators also located an empty gallon-sized container of vinegar within the residence. Mr. Stauch believes there was approximately one half of the container left before he left for Oklahoma on January 25th. As mentioned above, additional vinegar was purchased on January 27, 2020. EPSO deputies that responded to the Stauch home on January 27th did not notice the bloodstains in Gannon's bedroom, and it should be noted the initial that's because she washed the walls and she changed the bed sheets and then kind of put the bed back over there, so you wouldn't have seen it unless you moved the bed around. And it should be noted the initial report was that Gannon had left the home and had not returned. As additional information was developed, okay, so they didn't feel like they were going to look because they felt like he took off. More forensic searches of Gannon's room were conducted, which revealed the aforementioned evidence. There were small traces of blood found in the depressions of the drywall and paint textures that Leticia failed to remove when she cleaned the murder scene. Who's this Mark character in here? Is he just somebody that accidentally got like a membership from somebody? Yeah, keep an eye on that one. That one's. As a matter of fact, I'm just gonna get rid of this person. I don't want to deal with it. Have a good one. All right. Investigators also located an empty gallon-sized container of vinegar within the residence. Mr. Stauch believed... Okay, yeah, that's right. We already read that part. There were small traces of blood found in the depressions of the drywall and paint texture that Leticia failed to remove when she cleaned the murder scene. I have received and viewed Metro Crime Laboratory report lab case pound 20 MCL 00267 completed by serologist Sherry Holmes. Although I have discussed results related to this DNA testing and other portions of this affidavit, the intention of this section is to provide clarity and eliminate ambiguity of which samples were submitted to the laboratory and which samples were or were not attributed to Gannon Stauch's DNA. Additionally, there is an unknown contributor in some of the DNA profiles that were developed. As mentioned elsewhere in this affidavit, I do not have a biology background, but I am aware that a DNA profile is very accurate. Now, if he sends me an email and he explains how he's not a troll, then maybe. I'll tell you what, I'll put him back in there. But man, it's just absolute troll behavior, I can tell you that. Investigators submit swabs from Gannon Stauch's toothbrush bristles, toothbrush head, and from a tooth retainer that Mr. Stauch said belonged to Gannon. DNA buccal swabs were also taken from Gannon's biological father, mother, and from Leticia Stauch. From these samples, DNA profiles for these individuals were developed and used as comparison for other testing. In summary, Gannon's DNA profile was found from blood samples taken in the garage, on the outside of size 8.5 Nike shoes, and in Gannon's bedroom. Leticia's DNA was recovered from the interior of size 8.5 Nike shoes. I submit to the court that the lab results tend to corroborate the theory that Gannon was indeed murdered in his bedroom, brought in the garage, and his remains loaded in the Volkswagen Tiguan, subsequently to be disposed of in an unknown location. Court that the lab results tend to corroborate the theory that Gannon was indeed murdered in his bedroom, brought into the garage, and his remains loaded in the Volkswagen Tiguan. Number 126. To be more specific, a serology study was conducted by the Metro Crime Laboratory, and the following samples tested positive for the presence of blood. These samples were also analyzed and compared to known DNA profiles of Gannon Stauch, Leticia Stauch, and Alberta Stauch. Alright, taken... DNA profile was not suitable for comparison. Found a mixture of... taken from a piece of carpet found inside a carpet roll in the utility room. Found to be a mixture of 3 contributors, at least one of which is male. The DNA profile was not suitable for comparison due to the number of contributors. Taken from the garage... I mean, doesn't it just seem weird that you find contributors but you can't isolate it? It feels like at some point, not too long from now, I mean, if you can tell that one of them's a male, then you should be able to grab whatever it was that you found. You know, like it doesn't seem like it should be that hard in the future for them to have a bucket full of 4,000 different people of blood in it and have it be able to take out the DNA from each different person. I mean, the thing is DNA, every cell has a complete DNA string in it. So why not just, if you can get down to the point where you can extract DNA from a cell, and then you do it for all, you know, I mean, there's a lot of cells in there, but I don't know, just feels like in the next 10 years they'll be able to, these mixtures won't even be a thing. Nobody will care at all. Yeah, so don't forget to hit that like button, everybody. No, you didn't just say, you did a faces and that, Mark. Yeah, and then you said word. I mean, it's just, it's really childish stuff, dude. So, if you, this is basically, I try to make people laugh every once in a while. But when we're talking about something serious, that kind of stuff just doesn't work, all right? All right, great. Oh, you're a Portland native too, Charity Dunning. No, you didn't offend me. It was just disturbing, Mark. Let's see. I'm behind. PDX native here. Doesn't surprise me. They didn't do anything. That's defunding. Yeah, it was in Vancouver, but it's the same over there too. So here's a whole bunch of DNA swabs. I mean, just a ton. I'm not going to go through them all. So down here it says, investigators applied for and were granted search warrants by this court to obtain historical call detail records to include cell site locations of cellular devices known to be utilized by Leticia and Harley. Your affiant has reviewed information from the analysis and in summary learned the following information. Historical cell site analysis helps to determine the location of a cellular telephone based on cell tower antenna locations and orientation. Locations are determined by activity of the cellular telephone. Now let me try to do this for a second. If I put the projector over here, make it full screen. Alright, so down here, I wonder if I can draw. Ah, shoot. I don't have the writing. I'm going to go to a different screen for a second. Middle monitor. Yeah, there it is. Is that the one? Yeah, I'll have to figure it out a different time. Never mind. I'll do it a different time. I was going to draw you, but if you ever seen like a cell tower, usually you see them, there's basically 3 different types. There's one that have, I look at it as like pie wedges, where there's some towers that are 180 degrees and 180 degree pieces of pie, right? Then there's other towers, those are the antennas. Then there's others that are 120, 120, and 120. And then there's some that are, I don't know how common they are, but I think I've seen them 90, 90, 90, 90. And so they go out in all the directions, but when a car drives by and it pings the tower, it knows which piece of pie the phone pinged from. And so you know that the car was in a general inside the pie shape. And then if you have multiple antennas, you're able to triangulate. Huh? Yeah, I don't get it. I don't even know what you guys are talking about. Well, thanks, Mark. I thought maybe what I was saying would have been interesting about the cell tower. I couldn't draw it on the screen for you. But if you have another tower in another area and then it pings off of a certain angle off of that tower, then you can start drawing lines and figure out where the car was during that time. Okay, so the historical cell site analysis identified unusual activity for Leticia, including potentially disconnecting her cell phone from the cellular network for several hours. I submit that by disconnecting the phone, Leticia intended to prevent law enforcement from being able to determine her location. Specifically, this occurred on January 28, 2020, during the evening she disposed of Gannon's remains. Investigators applied for and were granted a search warrant for Leticia's cellular telephone. A physical download was conducted, and investigators were able to recover data inclusive of text messages, call records, the specific times her cell phone was unlocked, battery levels, and other information. In summary, they were probably using Celebrite. Investigators learned that Leticia lied to her employer, her husband, her friends, her daughter, and the children's babysitter. I will not include each and every text message or lie. Additionally, there are messages that would otherwise tend to corroborate her statements about Gannon's whereabouts on the afternoon of January 27, 2020. If in fact he did go to play with his friends, as discussed in other portions of the affidavit, Leticia's story was false and misleading, and these messages were likely sent by her as part of a larger plan to support her initial lies about his disappearance. For example, on January 28, 2020, at approximately 5:14, Leticia had a conversation with Stephanie, the children's babysitter, saved in the phone as Stephanie's sitter. There is no indication that Gannon ever went to a doctor, and Leticia never brought that up with investigators. Some, but not all, of their conversation is below. Yeah, cool. No. I had 500 and something last night, Paula. 600 a couple nights ago. Some nights I get 350. It just kind of depends if I go out and share it. You know, you're just an idiot. People just show up to be trolls. So, and this is the same number I've had for years. But by the way, that account was created today, so we'll just go ahead and... oh, good. You already blocked it. Excellent. Yeah, I'm not talking about GPS, Alifair. I'm just going over the phone stuff. Yeah, I just saw that. Yeah. That's one of the trolls that we always talk about. Thanks, Cheryl Bullock. I think my channel's doing great. Got over 100,000, 106,000 subscribers now. We are... last year we donated $62,000 to true crime related charities. This year we're ahead of that pace, but you never know with the economy and everything what'll happen. But we're doing well. We're kind of in a lull in subscribers now because we're just getting back into some bigger cases. But when you don't cover the big cases and they see that you upload something that's just, oh my God, he's talking about some cold case from 1920. Forget that, man. And they don't want to be bothered anymore. So, but when you're covering what they want you to cover, see, if you get too many subs from one case, you have a good chance of losing some if you don't keep pumping out stuff. Like if you get 20,000 new subs on a case about the Idaho 4, and then 2 weeks later you're covering things that aren't that, you might lose 5, 6, 7, 800, 1,000 people out of that. Yeah. Yep. All right. So right here it says outgoing. This happened after 3:30. Outgoing. We talked to him. Then he told him to be home by 6. Oh yeah, these are all text messages that are like supporting the lie that he went out. Someone posted he wasn't at school either. He had to go to the doctor for his stomach, but he was here in the afternoon. Where did he say he was at? Yeah, that was an incoming from a sitter. Honestly, I don't keep up with the friends, Leticia said. Leticia made statements to investigators via text messages that could be considered exculpatory in nature related to the presence of blood in the basement of their residence, as seen in the below text message. I have talked with investigators that were inside the Stauch residence on January 27th and 28 and 29. There was no odor of smoke and no evidence of smoke. In fact, one detective noted the basement smelled like coconut and was very pleasant. Furthermore, I know that burns oftentimes do not produce wounds that bleed profusely. Yeah, I mean, is there any even truth at all? Remember there was like a candle wax or anything like that? I mean, I don't even know anything that's true that was said. I think Leticia just wanted to kill him. Furthermore, I know that burns oftentimes do not produce wounds. And then, let's see, outgoing. She says, when we came back inside from the smoke, there was blood on both of us. I didn't know what to do. I was scared. I would get fussed out about it, and I didn't know if he should go to the doctor. I kept trying to add the cardio thing, but Albert kept saying it was email minor. I don't even know what this means. And minor. I was scared. It says sacred. Scared. Let's see. I was scarred. I don't even know what it's saying. The basement was smoky, and when I threw the covers on everything, we both had blood. What? You don't understand how hard it is to be a stepmom, she wrote next. The below message appears to contain instructions from Leticia to Harley to purchase carpet powder, baking soda, trash bags on or about January 27, 2020 at 4:52. These messages are important because investigators believe the purpose of these items was to clean up blood from the murder of Gannon. This text message was also referenced above in paragraph 72 to 76. Hey, Nikki Zb, 3 months. And Alfair M, 21. Boom. She's the stepmom. Leticia is. Yeah, I mean, I think most mothers would have a hard time doing anything close to. I think most humans wouldn't be able to do this, but definitely more possible the stepmom who hates the kid and it's not hers, and then she already had a biological son with the dad of Gannon, and she just wants that to be it. But what about Harley, though? Isn't Harley from... No, that's her daughter that she brought into the relationship, right? So it's like, it's Harley and Leticia, and then it was her husband and Gannon, and then they had their own child together, right? I think I got that right. So she made sure that her own 2 children were alive. Does anybody remember that? I think that is how it is. What page are we on? 20. We're on page 20 at the bottom. Let me go back up to the top up here. Remember how it broke everybody down? Harley. So this is Father Eugene, stepmother Leticia. So maybe Harley is actually... No, wait, by blood to Leticia, not Al. There you go. Boom. That's exactly right. So she is Leticia's daughter that she brought into the relationship with Al, and Gannon is Al's and the biological mother's son, but she, she's the one that was in that press conference. And then they had a daughter named Lena together, Al and Leticia. So Leticia wanted to get rid of the one child that had no connection to her by blood whatsoever. Oh wait, no, I guess Lena is not either. Maybe she was just okay with the little kid then. So Lena is also one of Al's and the biological mother's kids. I thought that was one that they had together. Guess not. Interesting. Yeah, they don't have any kids together. I thought for sure that one, the 8-year-old, would have been that. Okay. It's weird what you forget over the years. It's been like 3 years since we covered much of this one, other than when they found him. Investigators also recovered limited GPS and location data from Leticia's phone. There are crucial time periods, such as the evening on January 28, 2020, that investigators were not able to recover location history because Leticia disconnected her phone from the cellular network. Oh, and Mag said, Landon's the biological mother. We played it yesterday in the press conference. Had their names and everything. Leticia stored several written notes within her iPhone. The majority of these notes contained what appeared to be usernames, passwords, or insurance information. There were several notes that appeared to reference her unhappiness in the relationship and shed some light on potential household instability. You know what? She sounds a little bit like Lori Daybell, Just really hated taking care of, her stepkid. Yeah, she didn't really want to be like, oh man, this isn't mine. I didn't sign up for this. Oh yeah, by the way, we still got some notebooks left. I think like 15 of them. So if you want to send, I just sent 5 out today. So if you want to send 25 to PayPal, you get on the remaining ones. If you send 25 in, I'll even throw in the Freak Stress Ball. You get it? With the 2 Freak pens and the notebook. And this is what the notebook looks like right here, other than the fact that I spilled something on this one. But little granddaughter woke up. She's been sick. Okay. Hope she feels better. Kathy. I was able to review some, but possibly not all, of the stored internet searches. Between the dates of January 25th, January 28th, 2020, Leticia viewed websites associated with searching for a job in states other than Colorado, such as Los Angeles, Orlando, Florida, Pensacola Beach, Florida, and Fort Lauderdale, Florida. Leticia also viewed apartments and 2-bedroom rental properties in Florida. Additionally, she visited a moving cost calculator website. Why didn't she just leave then? Leticia's internet activity also captured the search for a rental car and visited the website priceline.com. On January 28, 2020, at or about 8:17 a.m. I submit this timing is consistent with the acquisition of the Kia Ria mentioned in the affidavit. Leticia's internet activity also captured the search for a rental car and visited the website priceline.com. Man, that was almost hard to say. It's almost a tongue twister. Yeah, Leticia appeared to use Google as a popular online search engine. Use Google, a popular online search engine. I have included some of her queries to Google along with the date and approximate time of the search. These are crazy searches, by the way. Not all of her Google searches are included below. I submit that Leticia's search history is important because the history suggests she might have been struggling as a step-parent, and additionally suggests she was not happily married to Mr. Stauch. While her search history alone does not provide motive to murder Gannon, it does shed light on her inquisitive thoughts of her position with the family, memorialized in Google's search engine. I also direct the court's attention to the way Leticia's search terms are sometimes entered. Leticia hits the period key instead of the space key multiple times while searching the internet, in approximately 44% of the searches listed below. This will be significant during the discussion of a search conducted on Gannon's phone, as was discussed above in paragraph 40, and will be further discussed below. There are other searches on Leticia's phone that use the period, and additional search history over a long time span does exist that is not listed below. So look at these crazy searches. All right, so on January 25th, probably 2 days before the murder, find real military singles. I'll just keep going down until we switch the day. Parenting should be 4 people, not 1. You mean if you're a step-parent. I'm over... Look at how dumb... what kind of an idiot puts words like this in a Google search? I'm overdoing all the work for my stepkids and their mom doesn't help. It's just... Mom advice from stepmom. If you aren't involved in your kid's life, you are shitty. My husband's ex-wife does nothing for her kids. It says lids. I wonder if my husband's ex-wife is sending me a card since I raise her kids. I wonder if my husband's ex-wife is sending me a Valentine's card since I raise her kids. She sent that twice. One day, some people will wish they treated you differently. Wow, so is that a threat? What would Google do with that information? One day, some people... let me just type it in. Let's see what the hell this does. One day, some people will, wish they treated you differently. Your next chapter is going to cause some people to it's just... What a dip... I think Leticia Stauch is... God, well, let's see. Which one of these? Hold on a second. Is it this one?
This guy may be like the dumbest person on the face of the earth.
Not that one.
That's just one step above stupid. Have you lost the last 3 brain cells?
There we go.
Or do you just have cabbage for brains? 5 brain cells, 4 aren't working.
There you go. I think those all fit Leticia Stauch. Why should my husband chase me over family? Why should my husband shoot... Oh my God, this lady's a... It's like WJY should my husband chose me, not choose, Ober, not over, but Ober family. Well, because you can't spell worth a shit. And Find me a rich guy who wants me to take care of his kids. Well, if you pay me then and I get a lot of cool, neato things, I'll take care of the kids. But this guy, he's not like that, so I don't really want to take care of the kids. Find a guy who wants me to take care of his kids and get paid. It's crappy some parents don't care for their kids or buy them presents. Now we're on to the 26th, that one. It's crappy. Google's a search engine, you idiot. You're just typing in comments. It's crappy some parents don't care for their kids or buy them presents. Parents are those who put their kid before their nails. She probably noticed that Gannon's mom maybe made a post on Facebook about doing her nails or something, and then she's like, yeah, but I mean, what's the point of this? And she typed it in twice too. My son burned the carpet. How do I fix it? So maybe that's something that really happened. I don't know. Will humidifier help if exposed to smoke? Huh? Smoke effects, will humidifier help? She's not getting answers because it's so poorly worded, it's scary. Smoke from the fire effects, will humidifier help? Again, doesn't work. Colorado law for kid statting at home. Colorado law for kid statting at home. I don't even know what that means. Next one. School is out, period. Is it okay for my kid to stay home alone? Son is sick, but I have to go to work. Son sick, can he stay home? Suede repair something sofa. El Paso Sheriff's Office number. We're on the 27th now. So now, okay, so let's go back a little bit. So right around this time is when I think she's out driving around with him. Smoke effects, will humidifier help? Smoke, da-da-da-da. Then it's son is sick, but I have to go to work. And then at 1:03, that's right. And then at 1:03, she says, son's sick, can he stay at home? And then he was killed right around like 2:30-ish. And then there was this huge lull. I mean, look how she's on the phone. I don't know if you can see it, but it's like, 12, 12:42, 43, 43, 40, 55, 57, 101, 103. And then there's a 3-hour and 40-minute gap because Gannon's dead now. And then she types in suede repair something. So she's even thinking about fixing the sofa. And then at 6:54, she looks up the El Paso Sheriff's Office number. And what is the process of our runaway child at 4:15 the next day? So she didn't even use her phone, it looks like, or a Google search for 24 hours after that. Yeah, definitely. Almost have to throw myself in prison, you guys. We're having another one of those lulls. It's, started off slow, then it picked up, and then... And that's with almost 400 people. What? You're right. She could have said, Spirit box.
Better results with the spirit box.
I wonder if my husband's ex-wife is sending me a Valentine's card since I raised her kids. Oh. Stupid! Yep, stupid question. Bobby! Oh yeah, Valentine's! Nope. Nope, I guess not. I guess she's not getting one. That's too bad. Yeah, so it looks like her phone, for 24 hours, she didn't even use it, really. Or Google search. Then on the 28th, she says, what is the process for a runaway child? Police steps for a runaway. I mean, there's just such dumb wording. I mean, police steps for our missing child. Today's flight, OKC to, I don't know, someplace. Can Nintendo find my Switch? Car, and by Switch, she means her kids. And I think that might be, that must be, is that from her phone? Remember, we went over that yesterday. Car, net, Volkswagen, Google search. Oh, there we go. Oh, well. Jeez, Mag. Thank you. And yes, hit that thumbs up, you guys. We're just trying to get everybody where we're all caught up before the trial. And then we'll go over it. And we'll do the trial, and everybody will just kind of know what's going on. And I'm sure there's a hell of a lot more information that they have. Yeah, that's so generous. Thank you so much, Mag. Thanks, Jim Law. Wait, what? Oh, I thought for a second there I got confused.
Please give a thumbs up, thumbs up, thumbs up, thumbs up. Thank you.
Yeah. Yeah, everybody. Hey, and thank you to Lisa for ordering the notebook on PayPal.
She needs a spirit box.
Very cool. You sounded sad? What do you mean she sounded sad? Yeah, well, we're not at that part yet, Camaro. But I don't know if they have said how she killed him yet. Well, they said blunt force trauma. So, yeah, I mean, I guess that's what they think. That was before they found his body. See, this whole document here is basically before they found Gannon's body. So there might be some other document out there. If anybody has that one, if you want to send it to me, that'd be great. But I've got the one that they created and put everything together to arrest her anyways. So even without his body, they had enough for an arrest. Do police check Google searches to see what I'm thinking about? God, I sure hope not. I think that'd be against your constitutional rights.
Google search. Do police check Google searches to see what I am thinking about? Thoughtful face.
I don't know.
Smiley face.
Yeah. Investigators were able to recover internet search history that was deleted from Leticia's phone. No time and date association was located with the data, and I can only ascertain that the searches were conducted prior to EPSO seizing Leticia's phone on January 29, 2020. Some, but not all, of the search history is included below. Some of the other deleted search terms included travel planning, shopping, job searches, and other seemingly innocent activity. I have not purposely left out any particular search that would be exculpatory in nature, and I'm not intending to portray that all of Leticia's deleted searches were nefarious in nature. I think whoever wrote this probable cause or search arrest warrant here, this should be the model of how to do it, because it's honest, you know, it throws out the other side sometimes, but it's worded so perfectly and carefully and just so, I don't know how to explain. I've never seen one like this. It's great. So these are the search terms that she deleted and they recovered them. Find me a new husband book. I feel like I'm just a nanny, not a stepmom. Husband uses me to babysit his kids. Are there any free money to move away from a bad situation? Well, no. Are there any free money? You mean, is there any free money to move away from a bad situation? My husband, and no. Yeah, because you don't have a bad situation. Like I could see her going down to a place like Rain and saying, "Listen, man, I'm trying to get out of a bad situation. Can you help me?" And they go, "Wow, what's going on? Is your husband abusing?" No. I just have to stay home too much and cook and clean and stuff. Can you guys help me out? Yeah, she's like one of the ones like the who call 911 because they didn't get the fries with their hamburger. By the way, I've told this story before, but I went to McDonald's one time with a friend of mine, and he said, "Hey, can I get a cheeseburger plain?" And what do you think that means? It means like a cheeseburger with just cheese in the burger. But instead, they gave him a plain hamburger inside of a cheeseburger wrapper. That shows you the brain caliber of a lot of people in the world. Yeah. Yeah, that's a real true story, gamer lover. Yep, that's right. It's unbelievable. Yeah, we just couldn't believe it. Yeah, because we want to pay the extra amount. What we're doing is we're just trying to help McDonald's out, so we're paying the amount for a cheeseburger, but we just want the regular burger in the wrapper. Yeah, thank you. Are there any free money? My husband never posts about me, but does everything else. I mean, call up a place like Rain and talk to him about that. I'm being facetious. My husband only cleans up for Army, not me. I am just a glorified babysitter. Find a new husband. Set my husband sexual messages and he ignores them. Make my husband want me more. I feel like my husband uses me to babysit his kid. Find a guy without kids. God. Or make the family that you're in not have any kids. Is that what you're trying to do? I wonder what her actual motivation was for killing Gannon. It's just like this stuff doesn't really. I wonder if she just snapped and pictured him being her husband for a moment, and just like, because it's pretty bizarre, right? Right, exactly. I know, she talks to Google, Christy Kazi, like it's some sort of, just typing in a word and then hoping, like a phrase. Hey, Google, I was walking down the street one day and in the merry month of May, and I found $1 on the ground. Enter. Okay, Google's probably looking around like this. Is there a question in here anywhere? You don't just sort of type in, Hey, Google. Yeah. Oh, wow, my phone turned on when I said that. Never mind. I don't want my phone, listening. It's ridiculous. During the first 24 to 48 hours surrounding the disappearance of a child, it is reasonable that an assumingly innocent parent or step-parent would be contributing to search efforts and fully participating in the effort to recover the child. In the 24 to 48 hours surrounding Gannon's disappearance, Leticia rented a vehicle, turned her cell phone off for approximately 4 hours on the evening of January 28th, washed her T-gon immediately prior to coming to the EPSO for an interview, evaded law enforcement attempts to conduct a more in-depth interview, and did not participate in the search for Gannon. Wow. See, that's why even in the, what was that case? The Kelsey Barrett. Remember that? I forgot the guy's name. It was like Patrick, no, something Frazee. We called him Patrick Frazee. Yeah, Frazee, he didn't help at all because he's the one that killed her. In 24 48 hours surrounding Gannon's disappearance, Leticia rented... Okay, we did that one. On Tuesday, January 28, 2020, between 8:48 and 8:54 a.m., Leticia instructed Harley... And by the way, thank you to Adniram up there. Never about Gannon. It was always about his mom. Yep.
Never about Gannon. Was always about his mom. Thoughtful.
Yeah, I mean, I think she killed him just to punish the parents, but it just seems like such a, you know, the biological parents. It just seems such a huge leap there. I almost feel like she's so angry. You can tell by her messaging that she just hates being in her situation, and she hates the stepmother, because I think some of those were referring to, I'm not the stepmother, the biological mother of Gannon. She hates her, and she's starting to really dislike her husband, and Gannon was a proxy to them, right? Does that make sense? Like, she looked at Gannon one time and just thought, I hate both your parents, and she hates him and killed him. On Tuesday, January 28, 2020, between, yeah, we already did that. On January 28, 2020, at approximately 4:04 to 16:17, investigators asked Leticia for Gannon's... Oh, actually, I think I missed this part. 8:48 to 8:54, Leticia introduced Harley to pull your car in the garage. Instructed Harley to pull your car in the garage via text message, presumably to temporarily cover up a potential evidence left behind. This is on the 28th in the morning. To be clear, Harley has her own vehicle that was mentioned above in paragraph 13, specifically a Volkswagen Jetta. On January 28, 2020, at approximately 4:04 to 4:17, investigators asked Leticia for Gannon's toothbrush to recover his DNA. At or about 4:19, Leticia did a search in her internet browser of "They are asking for our son's toothbrush, but said nothing is wrong." I mean, what a weird... See, that's, she typed that into Google, this sentence right here. "They are asking for our son's toothbrush, but said nothing is wrong." Oh, they're trying to she thinks Google's going to go, "Oh, well, listen. They're trying to trick you. They just want to get his DNA." Leticia, something isn't right. This is what she, let's see. "Something isn't right. I think they're hiding something," Leticia said. "Who, Mr. Stauch? The police?" And then Leticia said, "Yes, they asked for toothbrushes." Mr. Stauch, what do you think they're hiding? Also on January 28, 2020, at about 10:45 in the evening, Leticia made a statement to investigators via text message. At the time of the statement, Gannon had been missing for approximately 27 hours, and Leticia believed she was a subject of his disappearance, without any prior prompting from law enforcement or notification. Via text message at the time of the statement. So she said, Leticia sent a message saying, "What do you want from me? Because I have nothing." See, wouldn't that be weird if you weren't prompted and Leticia sends something like this? She was getting really paranoid about the toothbrush. So then she sends this text message to investigators. "What do you want from me? Because I have nothing. One of your very own leaked to me that what you guys were doing. I did nothing or am being set up. I'm not really even sure other than being told that by another blue with El Paso." I guarantee it, nobody was giving her any inside information. She just wanted to make it seem like she was aware to see if she could get him to say something. "I was told I couldn't go home to sleep, and on top of that, men were sent to home." Hold on a second. We got to start this over again. Leticia said, "What do you want from me? Because I have nothing. One of your very own leaked to me what you guys were doing. I did nothing or am being set up. I'm not really even sure other than being told that by another blue with El Paso. I was told I couldn't go home to sleep, and on top of that, men were sent to the home with a minor female, and she was forced to stay there, not to even leave for food, those barbarians. Every conversation that's said, even at this moment, I can hear inside, 'What do you guys want from me?' Ha ha!" Then the detective wrote back, come in to talk to me. I would like information to find Gannon." Then at 1:48, after EPSO investigators seized Leticia's Volkswagen Tiguan on January 29, 2020, she obtained 2020 Nissan Altima. Investigators applied for and were granted a search warrant by this court to install a GPS tracker on the vehicle. Investigators monitored this track device, which provided particularly useful information on January 31st, 2020. A map with some of this data is included below. This information will be discussed below as it relates to the area north of Palmer Lake and along Highway 105S Perry Park Road in Douglas County, the same place that they found blood from Gannon on a piece of cardboard. In summary, investigators believe Leticia utilized the rented Nissan Altima to return to the area in which she disposed of Gannon's body. Indeed, investigators recovered a piece of particle board from the area with Gannon's blood on it. Yeah, particle board, not cardboard. This information will be discussed below in more detail. Okay. The fact Leticia came back to the area on January 31st, 2020 is significant, and investigators have not uncovered any evidence that Leticia has family or friends that live in the area or any legitimate reason for her presence in that area. Probably to find that video game. She probably was like, "Oh, I gotta move that." I submit a reasonable theory for the fact Leticia returned to this area based on the information presented in the affidavit as follows. Leticia disposed of Gannon's remains at nighttime and likely was nervous about the location she chose and may not have even remembered exactly where she dumped Gannon's remains. Investigators believe that on January 31st, 2020, she went back to the area to view the area while sunlight was available. I think the reality is that she collected him and put him back in her vehicle and drove him. See, this is before they knew where he was. To ensure no evidence was viewable from the road, to ensure his remains were adequately covered to prevent detection, and to see if any law enforcement was in the area. Investigators were able to remove a computer chip from Leticia's brain, and it doesn't say that, but Leticia's Volkswagen Tiguan, which was examined by the FBI. The FBI was able to recover data, hereinafter raw data, which included, but is not limited to, the estimated location of the vehicle, specifically related to the evening of January 28th, 2020. And then Cindy put an actual brain in the and the morning of January 29, 2020. The raw data has not been scientifically evaluated, and raw data that was provided was not portrayed to be an exact representation of the vehicle activities. Additionally, I have been told that raw data has particular limitations, including the inability to show the exact location of the vehicle. For example, if the T-Gon was taken off-road, the raw data may not show that and display the estimated location on the nearest road. Furthermore, the estimated location may have some degree of fluctuation in accuracy, estimated to be approximately 50 to 100 meters. FBI agents, including Special Agent Donati, took steps to verify and corroborate the data recovered from the T-Gon. In summary, S.A. Donati was able to take some of the raw data, including location and timestamp, and compare it to other evidence. As with other forensic evidence discussed in the affidavit, investigators believe it to be reliable. For example, the T-Gon raw data placed the T-Gon leaving Colorado Springs Airport just after 7 o'clock on January 28. This information matched the timestamp of the January 28, 2020 Colorado Springs Airport parking receipt to the T-Gon data. The T-Gon raw data indicated the T-Gon stopped near a King Soopers parking lot for approximately 10 minutes after leaving the airport, between 8:08 and 8:18. S.A. Donati was able to review video surveillance footage from the King Soopers, which indeed showed a dark SUV matching the description of the T-Gon sitting in the parking lot during that same time period. Other footage, including video footage from a Wendy's restaurant in a separate location, helped to further corroborate the raw data. Of significant importance, the raw data showed the T-Gon in the area of Highway 105S, Perry Park Road, between 9:15 and 9:30 on January 28. And I have included a map depicting that data. The raw data also indicated, see, I think that might be the time that she disposes the body, right around in this time frame. The raw data also indicated the T-Gon stopped for approximately 5 minutes in an area approximately to recover Gannon's blood on February 15th. The raw data also indicated the T-Gon stopped for approximately 5 minutes in an area proximate to the recovery of Gannon's blood that they found on that particle board. This is the same area Leticia likely drove to in her Nissan Altima rental vehicle on January 31st, 2020. The recovery of Gannon's blood in this area is discussed below. Thank you, Charity Dunning. Yeah. So not really sure what to make of that chart there. Let me see. I think below there's much more accurate stuff. I don't know. Let's see. Investigators were also able to compare Leticia's historical cell site information, including... Wait, I think I know where this is, so let's go to that. How's this setup working on the screen for you guys? Yeah, I think that's what we're looking at on the map right there. See right there, the down and like this. So 919. Yeah. So here's the thing: is the particle board with the blood was found right there, basically, right in that spot. And her vehicle's driving right on this road right here. I mean, it just absolutely nails the situation. Okay, investigators conducted several consensually monitored telephone calls with Mr. Stauch, specifically Mr. Stauch, at the direction of law enforcement, communicated with Leticia via telephone and email. These communications have been recorded and memorialized and consisted of hours of recorded conversation. I will not provide a transcript of those calls, but will summarize. For the purpose of refreshing the court, here is a summary of some of Leticia's statements, whether to law enforcement directly through the media and or to Mr. Stauch in recorded email and voice communications. On January 27, 2020, Leticia stated, let's see, hold on a second, I gotta check something. On January 27, 2020, Leticia stated Gannon left to play at a friend's house and did not come home at 6 o'clock, like he was supposed to. On January 29th at 8:20, Leticia stated she was held at gunpoint, raped, and Gannon was abducted by her rapist. Within Leticia's falsehoods, there are details corroborated by physical evidence that would be near impossible to know without being intimately involved in the murder. Wow, that's interesting. Yeah, I didn't even really think of that. So when she adds in some truths into her lies, she gave out information that only somebody that was intimate with the crime scene would have known about. Leticia has made statements to explain blood on the walls in Gannon's bedroom, blood on the rear bumper of the T-Gon, and blood in the garage of the Stauch residence. Details of the location of blood evidence has not been released to the media nor to Leticia and has been closely held throughout this investigation. Furthermore, Leticia had continued to provide alibis for her physical locations not previously disclosed to investigators. Her statements continue to evolve in a dramatic way, and all are remarkably different from the original report. The majority of the conversation between Leticia and Albert Stauch began around February 13, 2020. Well, thanks, Scout, dude. I mean, tonight's been crazy because there's been about 4 or 5 people that have made up almost the entire amount of the super chats, and I always feel bad for that. I always tell people, just pretend that we're at a Starbucks or something, and the person spent 3 hours making you the drink. You know, that's how it works.
Chewbacca? I'll be Chewbacca.
Well, first of all, you'd never go back there again if it took you 3 hours to make a coffee. But thanks, Scouting Dude.
Hitting the like button.
Yeah. The majority of the conversation between Leticia and Albert Stauch began around February 13, 2020. Over several days, Leticia's story continued to change. During a phone call on February 13th, 2020, Leticia stated that Gannon was burned by a candle to the point that his skin bubbled and that Gannon peeled the burns off and wiped blood on his bedroom wall. Mr. Stauch did not ask about blood on the walls of his room during this call. The fact she provided information about blood on the wall likely indicates her knowledge of the murder scene. Oh, by the way, I just it made me think of blister. I was golfing 2 weeks ago, and I was wearing these certain socks to heat my feet up, and I got this huge blister on the bottom of my foot while I was playing, and I was just, God, another freaking problem. But then I looked it up, and if you take a look, heat up a pen, make it really clean, and you poke around the edges of the blister and drain the juice, the liquid out, the liquid out, and then you put like Neosporin and a large Band-Aid on it for a few days. It completely heals up again. I used to just rip them off and have this skin that had to grow back, but man, it completely attached back to the foot and everything. I don't know what the deal is there, but it worked. Thanks, Renee. Awesome. All right, Christy Kazi. Thank you. Yeah, this is one of those lucky nights again here. Had a few of those lately. Yeah, whatever I use worked great. Let's see. Yeah, just poking the holes in it and putting it back on your inner skin or whatever the hell that's called, and then put the Band-Aid on there, and like 2 days later it was almost as if I never had a blister. I just used these big Band-Aids that work good. Alright, the majority of the conversation between Leticia and Albert Stauch began around February 13th. That's right, so Leticia stated that Gannon was burned by a candle to the point that his skin bubbled, and that Gannon peeled the burns off and wiped blood on his bedroom wall, of course, yeah. Mr. Stauch did not ask about the blood on the walls of his room during this call. The fact she provided information about blood on the wall likely indicates her knowledge of the murder scene. On February 14, 2020, Leticia had an additional conversation with Mr. Stauch and provided four additional versions of Gannon's disappearance.
The last one here at work, writing a report that must be out today, and you are keeping me sane. Thanks, guys.
Oh, awesome. Thank you. Story 1. When EPSO came to the house on February 27, 2020, the abductor was still in her residence, and that she tried to signal EPSO deputies that there was somebody in the residence, and should be noted that EPSO deputies checked the entirety of the house, and no additional person was located during that search. 27. The abductor was still in her residence. Okay. Then the second story, she was raped by Quincy Brown. I thought it was a different name than that. Wasn't it a Hispanic name that she gave at her residence? And Brown abducted Gannon. She knew Brown's identity because she saw a paper and his identification card fall out of his pocket that had his name on it. Yeah, Duarte. So what's she doing with this story? Leticia sent a photograph of Quincy Brown to Mr. Stauch via text message. It is noted this photograph mirrored image online wherein Quincy Brown was listed as a most wanted suspect. Oh, God. Quincy Brown followed her from Petco, she said, at some point, was laying in the middle of the road in front of her. When Leticia stopped to avoid running the man over, he jumped in her car and made her take him home. See, why come up with such an idiotic story like that? And you could have just said, well, then she thought, well, I can't say it was at Petco because there's cameras. So it has to be something weird, like he was laying in the middle of the road. Leticia and Gannon were near County Line Road, Highway 105 in northern El Paso County on January 27, 2020. Gannon was riding a bicycle in that area and fell off, hit his head, and was then abducted by Quincy Brown. In this version of events, Quincy Brown was driven by a man named Terrence. So I guess that other guy, Eduardo, is just gone, right? I mean, what happened to that story? Sounds like Zanny, Zanaya, or Zanny the Nanny, whatever the hell that name was. Ugh. The February 14, 2020 story number 4 has several interesting considerations. During the period, especially the head injury part. During the period of February 12th to the 14th, it was public knowledge by virtue of media coverage that investigators were searching for Gannon in the area of Highway 105. Oh, interesting, yeah. Well, that's right, because that's where the particle board was found. And so she was like, yeah, he was over there, and so in case you happen to find something over there, you know. Leticia brought this location up on her own without prompt during a conversation, provided an alibi for why she was in that area. Leticia was adamant that investigators' efforts to search for Gannon in that area would be futile. This area turned out to be significant based on the T-Gon's location on January 28, 2020, and that Gannon's blood was found in this area, discussed below in more detail. Furthermore, as mentioned above, Leticia drove through the same area in her Nissan Altima rental vehicle on January 31st, 2020. I submit that based on raw data retrieved from the T-Gon, Leticia was likely in the area of Highway 105, Perry Park Road, on the evening of January 28, 2020, and Gannon's remains were dumped in the vicinity of the area. Leticia's story lays the foundation for a reason why investigators may locate Gannon's body with head trauma. Exactly. There you go. That's that head part that I was talking about. On February 15, 2020, Leticia provided additional... Yeah, so that one really does... Hey, yeah, if you find his body and you find that it has head trauma, it's because he fell off his bike, but it was also because... Let's read that one again. Leticia, this is her story. Leticia and Gannon were near County Line Road 105 in North El Paso on January 27. Gannon was riding a bicycle in the area and fell off and hit his head. Hit his head and was then abducted by Quincy Brown. So she goes, okay, yeah, he falls off, hit his head, and then of course I would have been able to collect him and bring him somewhere and would have resolved that, but I can't say that. So then he got abducted after he just randomly fell off his bike, hit his head. Then this abductor, wanting blood all over his vehicle, abducted him at that point and drove him, did something to him, and I don't know what happened. I just sort of went home. I mean, what did she do right then? You know, like, what was her answer? Did you follow Quincy or whatever? That's hilarious. Yeah, that's just ridiculous. Furthermore, as mentioned above, Leticia drove through the same area in her Nissan rental vehicle. I submit that based on the raw data retrieved from the T-Gon, Leticia was likely in the area of Highway 105S, Perry Park Road, on the evening of January 28, 2020, and Gannon's remains were dumped in the vicinity of that area. Leticia's story lays the foundation for a reason why investigators may locate Gannon's body with head trauma. On February 15, 2020, Leticia provided additional conflicting stories to Mr. Stauch, including that the story she told Albert Stauch about Gannon falling off the bike was a lie because because it was what she believed he wanted to hear. Leticia stated the blood in the corner of Gannon's room was a combination of hers and Gannon's. In this explanation, she stated that the abductor anally penetrated both her and Gannon with an object. Really? And then you both bled out in the corner from that? She was tied up at some point in the abduction, and the abductor was still present during the EPSO visit that night. Quincy Brown, age 37, was listed on El Paso County Most Wanted list on February 10th, 2020. I was able to locate Brown's photo on KKTV News website, where they describe Brown as a black male. It is noted that during one of Leticia's stories, she described her rapist as Hispanic male. The photo on the website appeared to be the same photo Leticia sent to Mr. Stauch. Brown has outstanding arrest warrants for failure to register as a sex offender and failure to appear. These warrants appear to have been open since 2018. Yeah. Yeah, I don't really care, Jonathan. All right. Let's see. I was able to find a criminal history for Quincy Brown, date of birth, which included but was not limited to a 2001 arrest for first-degree kidnapping in El Paso County Court. As mentioned above, investigators began to focus search effort for Gannon's remains in the area of Highway 105. There is not an exact address to reference due to the rural nature of the area. This particular location was deemed important based on raw data from the T-Gun on January 28, 2020, and the location data from the rental vehicle on January 31st, 2020. Wow, thank you so much, Cali Gal 3. Awesome. Oh, and I think I got your on the video, the last night's show too. I put you in for the spin. Thank you, Caligal 3. This one will be the
I can't wait to watch her antics in court to make us think she's nuts.
Oh yeah. Her eyes will probably have agita, they'll be rolling around in her head. Hey, thanks John D on the PayPal there. Thank you. Yeah, it's amazing. Like they're really generous to me to allow me to keep doing the show all the time. What Monica said, and then at the same time, I feel like people think, Gray, you're generous with other people's money. Well, I mean, isn't everybody then? I mean, it's like if you have a job and let's say you got an income and you're a waiter or somebody and you get tips and you bring in money. Let's say that waiter donated 50% of their revenue. Are they donating other people's money, or is it really just it was theirs? Okay. But the thing is, on this channel, I'm committed to donating over 50% of the net revenue to charity. That's why, I mean, can you find another channel that's even a tenth of the number that we just put up there in the last 3 years? $140,000. All proven on-screen, actual receipt donations to true crime-related charities and a DNA fund. Okay? So I don't know what else to tell you guys. I get so much hate for it. It's ridiculous. But at the same time, if people want to help me out and know that I'll also be doing that as well, donating to charities because I want to. I don't have to do anything. All right, so it's turned out to be a really cool. It's been really amazing because it allows me. I mean, I spend a lot of hours getting ready for shows or working on videos that I never really ever seem to get done, because by the time I get to a point where I'm like, okay, boom, then I got a show to do and get ready for. Do 7 days a week shows, and so I appreciate you guys. I mean, without you, the freaks, we're not able to do this. And I definitely, there's times where I think, gosh, can I switch over to just do YouTube 100% full time? And sometimes I get nervous, because there's certain nights where it's almost pure luck somehow from a few different people that make it a night that was worth it. Other than that, you're almost to the point where if you donated 50%, you'd be making like $4 an hour or $8 an hour, something like that for the day. But it seems like I get lucky, I guess, every single night. Some nights not all the way, but I mean, I try to bring in, something around, where over 300 in the YouTube super chats, because you got to remember YouTube takes a big chunk of that. If you could bring in like 300 minimum, because then after YouTube takes their portion, that's like 220 or something, and then I get taxed on the 220, so that would make it about 150. I don't know what is about 180 or so, and then I donate 95 or 100 out of that. So, I mean, it's kind of just the way it is for now. Like, can I retire with... Oh, you put the little period after like, Cindy. Good. You sound just like it. No, it's the same. I think they've been taking 30. They take usually around 30%, sadly. Doesn't that dog kind of look like how Chloe might look like when she gets old? I think so. What helps out with what taxes? Not really, Angela. See, people always think that it helps out some. So, like, for example, if I donated $60,000, that's actually money I didn't get to have, but I might have saved $15,000 in taxes. That's it, I can't show it again. It's kind of just on a loop. It's amazing how people say that. Like, it almost makes me wonder what Angela's comment up there, if that's another troll type of comment. You always get those from the trolls. They always wonder about the taxes. Yeah, so the thing is, if I made $100,000, let's say, and I donated $60,000, let's say I grossed 100 and donated 60. So after, on my end, I'm paying taxes quarterly, so that would mean that I would have taken home probably 70, or I don't even know if it's 70. Let's see. Yeah, about 70, and then in that case I would have donated at least I would have donated 70 at that point from YouTube. So then if you so then your income would be what is it? My total income would have been 100 and, well, that doesn't make sense what I just said. So if I brought in $160,000 and after taxes had 120, I would have donated 60 and I would have had 60 for myself, right? Then you can take the 60, and I think that comes off of the total amount of income that you brought in, and then you get taxed on 100,000, right? So you save some money, but it's not a ton. Like everybody thinks it's dollar for dollar, like you got all that back. What? That you're a troll? Yeah. I'm just trying to. It's not as great as everybody says it is. You know, it does help obviously because, I mean, you'd be stupid not to claim donations, right? Does everybody think that out of the goodness of just being, oh, Gray shouldn't claim charitable donations on his tax returns from his channel? I mean, every 3 months I have to pay massive taxes for my quarterly taxes just to do it right, you know? So, huh? Are you trying to type like Leticia, Cindy? Anyways, it looks like the chat just stopped out of nowhere. I don't know what happened, but yeah, I can see that, Angela, but your comments are just weird, you know, so let's see. I know. It's so crazy. I mean, if I brought in $200,000 and I donated 60, that is an incredible percentage of somebody's gross income, right? But they act like it's some sort of like horrible, oh my God, you got to donate every nickel. Every single nickel that you bring in on YouTube, you have to give every nickel of it. So, I don't know, man. I don't know what to do for those people. I think they need a lobotomy somehow. Thanks, Eugenie. There's Eugenie. Yeah, I mean, I could do whatever I wanted with it, but I gotta tell you, the reason I do what I do is because it feels good, right? Doesn't it feel good, you guys? Like when, I mean, I've asked this a million times, but the money we have in the DNA fund is probably the coolest thing that we do. What am I looking at, Nikki? Oh, they found him. Was he alive or was he alive? Yeah, I mean, the DNA fund is awesome. Let's see. Well, when you say they found him, is he alive? Yeah. So yeah, that we have a bunch of cases are in the works right now. I don't see the information. Send me a link that has anything to do with Scotty in it, instead of just saying Gray. I you know, I just looked it up and I don't see any results. So if you have a link somewhere that has that answer, let me know. Yep. Will do, Mark. Will do. Yeah, well, I don't know what the news is.
Come on, guys, let's get 300 likes.
He's been walking around for a week? Yeah, now you wonder if this was some kind of a... Yeah, so send me a link so I can show it on the screen. Everyone's claiming something, but... Oh, really? So when was this from? I guess apparently Gannon Stauch was shot in the jaw and stabbed 18 times. Detectives review. Really? Wow, I didn't know that. I bet he had blunt force trauma too.
Amazing, but you do not need to justify anything to anyone. No one works for free.
Yeah, well, thanks. It's just you get people commenting all the time, and you know, they come in, they say a few things. Yeah, yeah. If you really have the answer to what Scotty a minute ago, send me a link. Thank you, Christy Kazi. Okay, hold on. Scotty Morris 14 was last seen. Okay. Where is this?
Night marked 6 days since from his home, a candlelight vigil.
Where is it? It doesn't say anything on here. Oh, there it is right there. Eaton police confirmed he's been found safe. So then you wonder where he was then. Police in East Central Indiana continue to look for a missing 14-year-old boy. Oh, that was previous. It says a missing 14-year-old Eaton boy has been found safe. Eaton police have confirmed that Scotty Morris has been found. Okay, this is going to be their Facebook post then. We have one of the best updates to give. Scotty has been located and found safe. Medics are checking him out right now, and we will be conducting interviews. More info to come. Well, good. So, you know, now we know the parents didn't kill him or anything like that, right? And he likely ran away out of being embarrassed or something. But what I hope it isn't is some sort of... Well, I don't think so. I don't think it's a ruse of any kind. I think it's just sort of what it seemed like from the beginning, right?
Great job. Thank you, exclamation mark, colon,
awesome.
Basic blue, colon, underscore, basic flowy.
I'm glad they did a search yesterday. They thought there was these bones they found, but it wasn't him. But man, if he was... How did we know that he was found in the same clothing? Yeah, I just read it, J-Bear. Or is there another one? And by the way, when you send me something, don't send me the mobile phone version of the link. I guess you can. I can just remove the M. I don't know if you ever noticed. Yeah, I just read that exact same thing. So yeah. Well, I'm sure that's what they're going to be doing interviews for. Ask him why he ran away and what really happened, and we'll see what happens. You know, maybe CPS will get involved and put him in an even worse family. You know, that's what they're good at. You know. Gray, that's mean. There's some really good CPS work. Yeah, I'm sure there are. I'm sure they are. But they do a lot of really stupid things. And until they fix their problems, yeah, I'm sure they'll look into it. They're going to interview him. Hopefully they keep him separate from the parents and until they interview him. That's what I hope. That they don't let him talk to them first, because you never know what they might say. Yeah, but somebody sent me an article about a Colorado Springs boy who disappeared in January 2020, whose remains were found 2 months later in a suitcase 1,400 miles away, was shot in the jaw. I think I remember some of this stuff. And stabbed at least 18 times before he died. 11-year-old Gannon Stauch mother was the last person to see him alive, telling cops that the boy went missing after leaving home to meet neighborhood friends. This is in the Daily Beast, so I don't, you know. Oh, so is this the arrest affidavit? Oh, that's the same one that I've got. Yeah. Yep. So they're referring to an arrest affidavit. Huh. All right. Yeah, that's brutal. Jesus.
Chewbacca? I'll do Chewbacca if you want me to.
So how did she end up shooting him? In the house somehow? Thank you, Gloria Batari. Hey, good to see you, by the way. I don't think I've seen you for a while. Really? So you got the West trial, Leticia's trial, and you've got Lori and Chad Daybell's trial all coming up around the same time. The West trial is sort of interesting. I mean, I don't know. I'm not really... That's not one that I thought that one was just way overblown by YouTubers and whatnot. It was just turned into like the sensation case of the world, and it's just seemed kind of... I mean, they did button those up, but man, there's a lot of trials there. A lot of trials. Yeah. Yeah. I don't know. Is spanking mental abuse? Let's see. I'm having a hip replacement. Perfect time to be... Yeah. Anyways, on February 15, 2020, searchers located a piece of particle board during that search. I mean, let me ask you something. If you put like a kid in a corner, is that mental abuse? Like you have them sit in a corner, like you used to have to do when you were in school if you did something bad. Is that mental abuse? I mean, I'm trying to figure out what constitutes mental abuse. You know, is there a line that you draw? You know. Yeah, I think we overuse some of these terms like that. We don't know the story of what happened at the house. So let's see what it says. Let's see what it says. With who? What the fuck is wrong with you? Who are you talking about? I think humiliation is not a great parenting. Yeah, it's probably not the greatest, but... Oh, well, how do you know? Well, you don't know if he's going to be okay, Cindy. Let's wait till the information comes out. Okay? We got to see what the story is. I'm just trying to say, I mean, let's see what happens here. I want to know what the answer is. Everybody, I don't know. I really don't know. What if there was a shirt that in the house when they did something bad that they had to put on in the house, and then he left with the shirt on, and it wasn't going to make it out in public or anything like that. He just had to wear it at the house. I mean, it's not ideal or anything, but it just doesn't feel like... I mean, it's hard to come up with a really great excuse to have a kid wear a shirt like that. But you've seen other parents do things like that, right? Where they have to stand on a street corner with the breadboard thing and with the sign that says something about them. Oh, Katie, you're so mean. Yeah, but we don't know what the situation, Cindy, was, what's led up to that day, right? It could be a horrific situation in there because the mother has had charges of child neglect as well. So she does have that. So if you put that in there and you wonder, was there something more pervasive throughout the home life there that might indicate something else, and hopefully the police get to the answers in the interviews. You know, that's what you hope for. And then hopefully somebody makes a decision based on that. But we have no idea what the answers to the question are, right? Yeah, you mean in the video that you saw, Lila? Yeah, in the one still frame that you saw. See, that's the thing, is you're looking at one image where he's sad, and of course now he's been abused, right? Let's just see what happens. I think there's a good chance that there's something more going on here, but I don't know, and it's always better to just kind of err on the side of let's see what the answers are. Yep, I think that's pretty good. Anyone gets participant. Yeah, the whole participation trophy thing sucks. Yeah. Yeah. What was wrong with what I just said, Zozo? I just said exactly the reality of what to say. You know, very well could be something much bigger going on here. We'll have to wait till the interview and they get the answers. But we don't know right now. And it could be a lot worse. There could have been a lot more things going on right now. But we're looking at one picture and coming up with this huge story. Now, it does tell you something that he left and he was gone for a week. And it doesn't say in the article, but somebody said he's wearing the same clothing. I don't know where they got that information from. But, you know, like, what was he doing? Was it that so bad that he hid? Or, I mean, did somebody else take him in? I mean, what was going on? I mean, how did he survive in that really cold weather for that many days? I'm just not always all in like you guys on, not you when I say you guys, there's a few people that just get so overboard on every case. Now there's some cases where it's just obvious, like the one earlier tonight, the very first one that we did. How can you not? There isn't anything else you need to look at. The guy murdered somebody, then sort of jumped bail and drove all the way over to Washington State, and then he shoots at his girlfriend and beats her up another time, and she reports him, and then he convinces her not to say anything and to take back the charges, and then they sort of give him a really simplified bond thing. He was supposed to wear these ankle monitors, and then he goes over and he abducts both of them and he kills both of them, and that one is all on the authorities' shoulders. That entire thing. That is a joke, what happened in that case. Oh, really, Jan? Wow, we've just been talking about it for the last 10 minutes. Should have been watching the show, you know. It's in my face all day long. What do you mean all day long? What are you talking about, Rebecca? Yeah, you can be with whatever, you know. Nobody's not with Zozo. We're just not all. I'm just not like, oh my god, this is what I know. This is what happened because I just know it. Because I just think I know. I don't do that on here. Okay, so it's kind of weird when you guys say that stuff. We all think there's something that could be worse going on here, but we gotta wait to get the answers because we don't have the ability to get the answers. Hopefully, law enforcement can separate them before even letting them talk to each other and get the answers to what happened on that day. None of us have a clue what happened that day in particular. Now, we do know the mother has a past of child abuse charges somewhere. Okay, so those do exist, and that adds to an element of makes it more likely that something else is going on. But we just don't know. I mean, I've never seen a case that had so little information provided other than one image with a t-shirt on and a kid crying, and then he goes missing. Where we come up with this whole story built up around a person. Okay, let's just see what the answer is, and it wouldn't shock me a bit if it's something much more horrific and there was a lot of crazy stuff going, like locked in rooms and weird shit like that going on in that house. Wouldn't shock me a bit. And when if that becomes a reality, don't be one of the clowns that say, "See, Gray, you were wrong," because that's not what I said. But you do that all the time, and it drives me nuts. I'm saying it's possible. But I'm not I'm not seeing the data coming in because I'm not in law enforcement. Yeah, well, you should, Rebecca. Yeah, you know. I don't know what the whole shirt says, but maybe we'll get to find out now. Watch it say a whole bunch of different stuff. I'm not a cheat. I'm a, like it says, all the words that negated the comments are the ones that were in the folds and crinkle part, and you couldn't see it. Yeah. We don't really know what the shirt says. I mean, it has a few legible things that you can read. I mean, do you guys want me to be more like gung-ho and just sort of every time there's a case, just jump in without any data at all and just go, yeah, and just do that? Would that be cool? Because I can, if you want me to. It won't be me. I can pretend like a lot of the other channels do. They know what everybody likes, so they go in and just start pretending they're outraged about every single thing, and then everybody, oh my God, wow, you're like the moral leader of all of us. Wow. And it's sick, okay? I'm not going to do it. If there was more information that was provided early on, like if the sister had said, separated from the mother and said, oh my God, yeah, our parents are absolutely horrible, they've held him in a room, I would be all completely different right now. But I'm not going to do that because all we have is an image with a shirt and one comment and a few other comments by people saying like you had to sleep on like a bed without a mattress or something. Those are comments made on Facebook in chats. We don't know if there's a truth to that or not. So there's little things out there that make you wonder, and I guess we'll have to wait and see what in the hell happens. But it wouldn't shock me at all, and if there is something like that, I hope the parents get, the kids get taken from those barbarians, and that they get charged and put in prison. Okay, that's what I hope if that is the case currently. Yeah. Nobody has to agree. See, that's the thing. Zozo says, no, but everyone doesn't need to agree. I didn't say you had to agree. But what I don't think is you get so outraged when somebody doesn't agree. Like you get angry. Like, oh my God, you're wrong. And it's just like we already know right now that the parents didn't kill him. Okay? So that's already a good start to... Because there's a lot of people, remember 30% of people on the poll that we gave said that he was killed by the parents. You remember that? 30% of the people said that. Okay, well now we know that the parents didn't kill them. So will you, let me type in another poll right now. There you go. So there you go. And guess what? You'll still probably get 30% of people saying yes. Even though he's alive, according to the sheriff. Okay? Okay, so no matter what his answer is, Zozo's already set it up so that no matter what the answer is, there's something worse going on. Okay? You don't think if he takes him aside, she just said, bet any money he's too scared to tell the truth. So wait a minute, so they couldn't have taken him aside before he got to meet the parents and say, hey, listen, just let us know what's going on here. Come on. Yeah, obviously left for a reason, He obviously left for a reason. He might have been just feeling really humiliated and out, and maybe he took that backpack with him, but I mean if he's wearing the same clothes, who knows what the hell he was doing. I'm actually more like, what in the hell was he doing? Like, what was he doing out there for all those days? Yeah, no, it's true. I'm trying to talk about this case. Just, I mean, let me ask you this. Have what I said tonight, does it say that I'm not interested in finding out what the truth is, and that if they find out something horrific that the parent should be charged? Does anybody out there think that I didn't say that? Or are you just sort of like, God, you need to be more like, yeah, something really bad happened. Come on. Well, thanks, Jessica. See that? Look at this, everybody. So right now, 78 people voted and 14 people said that the parents killed him, and he's actually still alive and they caught him. So that just shows you right now. And those are all the trolls that come in from you know where and watch the show on a nightly basis. Isn't that amazing? Oh, God. Oh, really, Ellen? Wow. Thank you. Yeah, I had to get rid of that. That was... I mean, I think there's a good chance that there's a hell of a lot more going on here, because she did, like I said before, she does have a child abuse charges, neglect type of stuff. And there's been some anecdotal stories by people saying that, you know, you had to sleep on a bed with no mattress, just on the wood planks or whatever. And if there's things like that, then yeah, that's child abuse. And then hopefully authorities can come in and give them at least the next 4 years being a little happier of a person. Yeah, well, let's see what the story is, though. Okay? So if that's the case, then you wonder what he may have said right when he got back. Because I guarantee you this, Zozo. If when they found him, if he'd said, oh my God, my parents beat me all the time, and they just really, you know, they would never have allowed him to meet with the mother and go to the hospital, do any of that stuff. They would have been separated. So what's going to be great is to get the actual factual pieces of information in the case, and let's see what happens. All right. Oh, I don't care, War Flare. I was doing something else. Yeah, missed opportunity, right? Yay! You know, if the freaks want to watch my show, then they want to watch it. Now, I don't care if somebody wants to send me the press conference, I'll play it later, then that'd be awesome. Look at these clowns that show up. Oh my God. They're just, these people. Thanks, Warflare. You're just absolutely amazing. Thank you for your information. Missed opportunity, everybody. I missed an opportunity. I could have capitalized more on Scotty's case if I had just switched over to the press conference, like so many others. Gosh, please, everybody, just feed me the most popular thing to do at every given moment. And if you don't send it to me, I just might not make it as a YouTuber. Thank you. Thank you so much. Yes, he was found, Regina. He was found. I have to actually still get through the rest. We got 5 more pages here. So hold on a second. I got to use the restroom. dum dum.
Huh?
Hey everybody, if they had a press conference, I just gotta switch right over. Yeah. So I'll tell you what, we'll check it out. If somebody wants to send me the press conference, we'll look at it after I get through the rest of this. Okay? This is Friday night. Maybe we'll go a little longer tonight, right? Might need some juice to do that. There's one job I would never accept. All right, can I get through the rest of this, though, really quick? And if you see that there's a press conference, send it to me. I'll look at it after we get through this. Okay? All right. So here it is. Gannon's blood is located in Douglas County, Colorado, February 15, 2020. As mentioned above, investigators began to focus a search effort for Gannon's remains in the area of Highway 105S Perry Park Road in Douglas County, Colorado on February 12, 2020. There's not an exact address to reference due to the rural nature of the area. The particular location was deemed important based on raw data from the T-Gon on January 28, 2020, and the location data from her rental vehicle on January 31st. So both the rental vehicle and the T-Gon were in the same area. She dumped the body on the 28th, then went and checked on it on the 31st using the rental car. That's me speaking. On February 15, 2020, searchers located a piece of particle board during that search. The particle board had a stain that appeared to be consistent with blood and is pictured below. I have added a red circle to indicate the location of the blood stain. The particle board was collected by the FBI Evidence Response Team and transported to Metro Crime Lab. So somewhere, I guess right there, you can kind of see where the circle may be. The reasonable explanation for the discovery of this particle board with Gannon's blood on it is that Leticia used this particle board during the disposal of Gannon's remains. The area in which the particle board was found is rural, and the ground was covered by approximately 6 to 12 inches of snow. Additionally, as the area is rural in nature, it is likely populated by wildlife, including predators such as bear, coyotes, and mountain lions. Gannon's remains have not been located, and while investigators will continue to search the area, it is possible those remains have since been scattered. Well, that's before they realize. I mean, now we know that she actually went there and collected his remains and moved them all the way to North Carolina, then down to Florida. Or maybe on the way to North Carolina. I think she already had the body in North Carolina, if I remember right. But the below map depicts the area where the particle board was recovered compared with raw data from the T-Gon location on January 28, 2020, and the GPS tracker data from the Nissan Altima on January 31st. As noted above, the raw data of the T-Gon has an estimated 50 to 100 meter variance. So believe it or not, that's like a really good map right there. I mean, it's literally this exact spot right here. I think you could almost lay it over it and it would work. So, I mean, that right there, obviously, you can see is the same thing as that. And then right in this little corner, we had already had this all marked out. Today, I put that little particle, the board right there. I already had the sifter. These are where different shots of a sifter were. And if you go down to the scene, this is what it looked like. But you remember at that time there was snow on the ground. So, like the snow would be all the way up into here. So just right around in this area is where the particle board was. Right up in here. And there was a video that somebody took while driving by. Thanks, Ashy Snow, for the juice. So I wonder if she tossed his body over the fence there. So right here, basically, is where the particle board was. And look at, I have the dates here. And that is, see, it's exactly right. That's what I was thinking, is when, that means Gannon's body was left at the airport for hours so that she could pretend with her husband that everything was okay. Then she went back after dropping off her rental car. She got in her Tiguan and drove it out, you know, who knows what she was doing, looking for a spot. And then at 9:18 p.m., she's driving right by here. So 9:18, looks like she's coming in at 9:18. Oh, that's interesting. Okay, cool. Yeah, so this all makes sense now. Let's do it like this. So here it is. 9:16 with the Tiguan. Ho, 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 Jonathan. Ho, ho, ho. Yes, I am. Can you tell what the red? So look at this. Is sweet, you guys. You get to see the what's in this document here. So right here, January 28th at 9:16, like an hour and 15 minutes after the airport. Remember, she was at the convenience store at like 8:10 or something. So here we are. This is January 28th, 9:16. And now this 9:28 is on the way out. 9:16 right here. Then at 9:18, coming around this curve right here. And guess what? That is the moment. 9:20 is when she started dumping Gannon's body right here. Then at 9:20, or might make 9:19 then. Or it could have been, I think she probably turned around right here. So look at it, it was 9:19 right here. And then 9:20 right there. So actually she may have turned around up here then, I guess. So look at it, it goes 9:19 and then 9:19 right there. So maybe right there turned around. Then I think, you know what, I think if I remember, when I remember going over this before, it was after she turned around, she decided to throw his body in there because of the timing of things. So look at the way this works. Okay, just try to follow along right here. 9:16, then 9:18, then 9:19, then 9:19 again because, you know, it's only takes about 20 seconds to get there. Then 9:20 here, and then 9:23 to here. So that means there were 3 minutes of time between here and here, which is much greater because right here it's 9:18. She drove all the way up to here, and that's 9:20. So in like 2 minutes, not even 2 minutes, she goes from, let's see, 9:18 and then 9:19. I mean, look at all the way up there to 9:19 again and then 9:20. Look at the distance that is. When right in this spot here, you have 3 minutes. Easy to pull over, grab the body, throw it over the fence, get in your car, and get the hell out of there. So that's what I think. I think Gannon's body was disposed of between 9:20 and 9:23 on Highway 105 right there. Does that make sense? What do you mean I got my red shirt on, Jonathan? Yeah, because there's a time frame there. It's kind of like the Murdoch trial right there. And then, so there's 9:23 here, and then something that doesn't make a lot of sense now is 9:23 and then 9:28 to there. So what did she do? Like slow down and sort of stop for a second and think about it, and then took off again at 9:28, and then 9:28 again there. And anything else? Yeah. And then there's some, it just has a Tiguan evening of January 28th. So there is another moment here where there's 5 minutes between here and there, but it was found there. So you kind of wonder what she was doing over here. Maybe just kind of waiting to see if anybody came by and stopped, kind of monitored the situation. You know, I wouldn't even be surprised at all if she stopped right here and just kind of pulled over into this area you know, maybe pulled over into here, and you just kind of watched down where she dumped the body. Then she could see cars coming this way and that way, just kind of see what's going on. Now, who are you talking about, Cindy? Man, at the time, I just never know what you're saying. Oh yeah, and there's also a ping up here on January 31st in that area. And she might be up here because she's looking for the spot again. And then on January 31st at 4:31, she's over, her phone pings there. But yeah, it's likely on the road, because remember they said 50 to 100 yards. Then on January 31st, she's in this area, but that could be right there. And they actually gave out the GPS coordinates that I was putting in. January 31st, right there. So it's right near the spot. And that's interesting because that pin is on that road where I thought maybe she was sitting around waiting. All right, anyways. As during other portions of the investigation, Leticia continued to provide different stories to different people about Gannon's disappearance. Leticia provided false information to her sister and other family members, during which Leticia provided multiple different stories for what happened to Gannon. Several of those stories were discussed above. On a February 16, 2020 call at about 7:28 hours, Leticia told a female believed to be Tila Cummings, that she had been given Al numerous false stories because she knows he will not believe anything she says. Well, right, especially the way you tell your stories, that a guy was laying in a road, and as you pulled over to avoid him, the guy jumped in your car. Right. On February 17, 2020, call or on or about, I think it must be an on, cut off the R there. At 1:53, Leticia told a female, I think that's the one. On another February 17, 2020 call, at or about 4:11, Leticia told an unknown female that she's going to take a lie detector test, but that the test is not admissible in court and no law enforcement would be present. On a February 18, 2020 call at around 8:14, Leticia called 321-247-6876. I conducted research on that phone number and learned it was associated with fakepolygraph.com. Oh, this is crazy, right? During that call, Leticia stated she never got a confirmation for a test she paid for. Leticia provided the spelling. I mean, what do they do? Listen to your stress on your voice or something? Leticia provided the spelling of her name, and before disconnecting the call, the unknown male stated he would resend her the results to her email. I viewed the website, fakepolygraph.com, and found the following information. Get fully verified fake polygraph test certificate proving you have taken a real polygraph test. Leticia is one of the dumbest people that has ever lived. Okay? Even if we disagree on everything else, can we all admit that Leticia Stauch is one of the dumbest human beings that has ever lived on this planet? And I don't mean nutty, I mean just dumb as a box of rocks. I mean, you give her a box of rocks, she'd probably start eating them thinking they were gummy bears. No, it's not just uneducated. She is absolutely one of the dumbest people on the planet. You're being way too kind, Susan Bell, saying she's certainly not educated. Or not uneducated. She is absolutely one of the dumbest people that's ever lived. Whatever job she's got, whatever situation she got in was all smoke and mirrors, because she is literally one of the dumbest people that has ever lived. I mean, I have never seen, for somebody who apparently is educated, what is she, a nurse or something? Or a teacher or whatever the hell she is? I mean, poor kids. I mean, wow. The crap they must have learned. Hey, everybody, put a period after every word you say. And anytime you feel like pausing, just put a period. Also, period, on February 18th, period, 2020, period, at about 11. I mean, she is, and then talking to Google like it's a person? Really? Hey, Google. Just one time, my friends and I were in a camper, and we had fun. Enter. Okay, Google's looking around going, what do you need from me? What do you need? Hey, cool, Jamie. Yeah, I'm gonna have to put a new. I'm gonna try to do like a new set every once in a while. I'm gonna have to put like a different, because it doesn't go through. I have everybody's picture.
I'm loving the freaks pictures.
I almost said Bandcamp, actually gamer lover, but I didn't say it. I went because when I said one time, then I almost said it when I was at Bandcamp, but I didn't do it. Didn't it say somewhere she was certified as a school principal? Well, I don't know what. You know, she likes to get fake certifications, so I think they need to look into some of that stuff. She even wanted one on, hey, everybody, hey, cops, I passed a lie detector test. It shows it right here on the certificate. Therefore, I don't have to take one with you. God, I mean, that, oh, man. Just listening to her Google searches make her one of the dumbest people that has ever lived. Lowest 10%. Okay. Grant, I don't agree, Gray. She was just having a bad day. Okay. Well, you might believe that. I don't. Okay. Oh, shit. Also on February 18, 2020, on or about 11:16 p.m., Leticia called that number again. During this call, Leticia inquired about an email she received. The unknown mail stated that her report was blocked by management based on the content of the questions, and stated with an illegal stated that with any illegal activities, they reserve the right to not send the report. Leticia's response was the following: "What did you do? What do you do now? Just delete it and go on about your life and keep the money?" And the guy said, "Yes, we do, indeed." "Yes, we do indeed keep your money, you stupid idiot." "Okay, gotcha. Thank you. Goodbye." Investigators contact, and I'm not even being goofy. That's literally what it just said there. Investigations contacted Luke Devlin utilizing the phone number 321-247-6876 that Leticia called. No, hell no. Mr. Devlin provided information to investigators, including the questions, everybody, and answers that Leticia, the dumbest person on the planet, had provided. And here we go with the amazing questions. Leticia provided the following questions and the answers that were supposed to be truthful to fakepolygraph.com. Do you intend to answer these questions regarding your stepson truthfully? Yes, I typed in gleefully. Is your birthday August 4th? Yes. That is the standard question where we can baseline it from. Did you participate in any way in causing harm to your stepson? Why, no, I did not. Did your stepson return with you to your home? Yes, he did. Did you participate in any way in causing the death of your stepson? No, I did not. I submit to the court that if Leticia had nothing to hide, she would not have to pay for a fake polygraph. Yeah, I mean, you got to admit, man, this is really, like, almost ludicrous. Based on data collected by the FBI and reported in the Journal of Forensic Sciences, I learned that in over 71% of homicide cases that involve false reporting, the reporting party is responsible for the murder. To be clear, this statistic is not being provided as sole probable cause for the request warrant, but as an additional fact to be combined with, this guy, like I said, whoever wrote this is awesome. Based on Leticia's internet history, it is reasonable to believe that she was unhappily married to Mr. Stauch and had some degree of resentment towards the family as a step-parent. Furthermore, days before Gannon's murder, Leticia appeared to be researching a move to another state to a 2-bedroom apartment. Leticia has not provided a fully truthful statement to investigators at any point during this investigation, particularly regarding the circumstances of Gannon's disappearance. This would reasonably be suspected activity of an individual that committed the crime under... So you know what's cool about the way this is written is this is how... I'm not just saying this, but I like to look at cases how he's doing it here. That's why I like it so much. Because it's all these little elements when you put them together, the circumstantial case. If I was on a jury and heard all of this here, I would vote guilty. Because it's that obvious after this person put this together. And all these little things, these circumstantial pieces of information are just really meaningful to me. There's a lot of people out there that don't put any weight in circumstantial evidence, where I think it's absolutely equal and just as good. It should be considered the same, just like they said in the Murdoch case. I've always thought that. So, anyways, based on Leticia's internet history, it is reasonable to believe that she was unhappy. Okay, Leticia has not provided a fully truthful statement to investigators. This would reasonably be suspected activity of an individual that committed the crime. But see, what's cool is these are things that we sort of intuitively look at and say, yeah, this guy's writing it down on paper with the statistical numbers of the same stuff that we just see and go, oh yeah. Yeah, you're going to lie, like, for example, Alec Murdoch lying about being at the kennels. That alone is the single biggest piece of information in that case, is that piece right there. Now, they could have made a pretty good case, but I think it would have been a hung jury without that. But that shows that he had knowledge and is the killer, in my opinion. There's no logical excuse for that. Her stories continue to evolve to include a new location of Gannon's disappearance over 30 miles away, several completely different sets of circumstances, and unprompted explanations for why Gannon's blood would be found by investigators in key locations. Leticia was unable to provide a logical reason why she rented another vehicle while she still had access to the T-gun. Based on the aforementioned facts, it was likely because it contained the remains of or evidence of Gannon's remains based on positive reactions to luminol in the T-gun on the bumper, indicating the likely presence of blood on the rear tailgate. A suspected blood sample from the interior of the trunk area returned a negative result for the presumption presence of blood. Gannon's mattress has a large red stain on it that is consistent with blood. Based on the orientation of the mattress in the room, it appears that is where Gannon's head and upper torso would have been. Below that same area, a substance that was confirmed as blood by the Metro Crime Laboratory soaked through the carpet, the pad, and stained the concrete. This blood matches the DNA profile of Gannon Stauch. In this same area, blood samples taken from the wall, namely an electrical outlet, were also confirmed to match Gannon DNA profile. Gannon's blood again matched the DNA profile, was also found on a piece of particle board in the area of Highway 105, Perry Park Road in Douglas County, Colorado. This particular area is consistent with, this is just the most damning thing I've ever read. Hey, thanks, Pepper, Dobby Smith, and Jennifer Cardillo. During the stories to Mr. Stauch without prompt, Leticia provided explanations for why blood would be found. Wait, we're on the last page. This is it. Leticia's travel on January 20th, 2020 and January 31st, based on GPS tracker locations, show her right where the particle board was, where the blood was on it. I mean, it's just devastating, this report here. Even if they hadn't found his body, this would have been enough. During her stories to Mr. Stauch without prompt, Leticia provided explanation for why blood would be found on Gannon's bedroom wall. Other than Leticia being present for Gannon's murder and being present for the cleaning of the murder scene, there's no reasonable explanation for how Leticia would know that there was blood on Gannon's wall, as the evidence had not been released to the media. I mean, it's so amazing, that type of information. Yeah, how did she know to tell him? Oh yeah, the blood was on the wall, and nobody had mentioned that to her. That's because she was present, and likely, I mean, I would say 100% that she's the murderer. I mean, I'm just saying, they have to use words like likely and things. That she is the killer, and that's why she's making explanations for various elements. By combining cell tower data, reviewing video surveillance, and home security system logs, investigators believe, based on evidence, the only 3 individuals with access to Gannon on the afternoon of January 27, 2020 were Leticia, Harley, and 8-year-old Layla. With the exception of Layla, who is not considered a suspect. Wow, that's interesting, because are they saying that Harley is? It appears nobody other than Leticia was with Gannon at the Stauch residence between the hours of approximately 2:16 and 7:34 on January 27, when investigators suspect Leticia murdered Gannon. Gannon has been missing for approximately 4 weeks, and there has been national news attention on major networks related to his disappearance. Local efforts, including posters, new coverage, search terms, and social media postings, have also failed to locate Gannon. Aerial assets, infrared, FLIR technology, and other extraordinary methods have been deployed to help locate Gannon. Over 200 volunteers have helped to search for Gannon, comprising thousands of man-hours in several different locations. Additionally, although EPSO has received hundreds of tips, nobody has provided information that has led to Gannon's location. His family and friends have not heard from him, and Gannon is only 11 years old with no financial resources. Leticia Stauch was the last person to see Gannon alive. Investigators have not located Gannon's remains at this point in time, although the search continues. Well, they have now, but as additional time increases without locating Gannon, the more likely it is that Gannon is not alive. Based on the facts set forth above, I submit probable cause exists to believe that on about January 27, 2020, within the state of Colorado and within El Paso County, Leticia Stauch committed the offenses in violation of Colorado revised statutes to include murder in the first degree, child under 12, possession of trust, child abuse resulting in death, tampering with the deceased human body, and tampering with physical evidence. Therefore, your affiant respectfully requests the issuance of an arrest warrant charging the same. Boom! Chakalaka. And here is where let's see. Yeah, so his body was found on the panhandle of Florida. I mean, again, these criminals take you as far away as possible. And he was dumped, like in a, I think it was in a suitcase or something, if I remember right. Right in this area right here. I think I can't remember, I think it was coming in from South Carolina, if I remember, or was it North Carolina or South Carolina? I think it was South. No, I think, God, I don't remember. I think it was North Carolina. And it's right here. I put a pin exactly where it was. And I think it was underneath, down below here. Right there. And I think that was in March. I think they found the body in March or something. I do have... Let me just find the article that I have on that. There it is. Yeah, so this is a whole timeline thing here, but I'll just move it down to the judges agrees to let Leticia defend herself. Leticia represents herself in court for the first time on March 5th. April 8th, Leticia jail... wait, where was the... no, that we got to move forward here. There it is. March 20th, jury selection begins. That's now. I'm trying to find where that was. I thought it was back in March. Was it March or... God, maybe I got the time wrong. After months of being told, more weeks. No, it's in 2020. There it is. On March 20th, 2020. There it is. Authorities believe they found the remains of missing Colorado boy Gannon Stauch. Stepmom faces new charges. And he was found in Florida, but it was way back in, it was only about a month or so after she bailed, Thank you, Jody William from New Zealand. Right over there by Australia. Okay, so did anybody send me is there a press conference? Where is it? Alright, let's just see what this one says. This is one from Jessica Schubach. It's a confusing story that has drawn national interest and has many questioning whether a... Wait, is this... Oh, I thought you said Scotty found safe. I think you sent me the wrong article. I was like, what? It says in the thing, Scotty found safe, but you send me... Well, hold on, let me try that again. Your link also says the right thing, so let me... Huh. Oh, wow. So you have to go over here to get it? Okay. That was pretty bizarre what happened right there. I don't know. The link even said what she said on it. Eaton, Indiana has been located safe around 11 p.m. Friday night. The Eaton, Indiana Police Department posted on their official Facebook page that Scotty Morris has been located and found safe. Hey, Zozo, do they have a press conference on it? And by the way, don't you guys all feel pretty like we can do the Leticia Stauch case now, and you sort of know exactly what's going on and what was going on at the time? I mean, one of the just dumbest people on the planet who was just so disappointed with her life and just wanted to get the hell out of there and hated the parents of Gannon, so took it out on him because she's a barbarian. I mean, she's sick. I think she's a Lumbee Indian, yeah. Are they really unrecognized? Oh, okay. That's what I was thinking, because in the Lumberton case, the 3 individuals that were murdered, they are all, I think 2 of them were Lumbee Indians. Okay, somebody said there was one. According to the Post, Morris is currently being checked out by medics, and police will be conducting interviews. Okay, hopefully regarding his disappearance soon. While it is currently unclear where Morris was found, Eaton Police Department said it would provide more information soon. It's a little bit weird that he's fine, like he's being checked out. He's got the same clothing on. Where was he staying that allowed him to be warm enough to survive the 17 degrees at night? That's the part that I need to know, get an answer for almost first, you know, like. You mean this thing? That thing? It's not really a shaman chant song. It's during the, well, I'll tell you what that's from. Is that what you're talking about, Jim? That one?
I'd love to hear the shaman chant sound effect and learn of its backstory.
Okay, the backstory is that's from the Hart family case where the 6 kids were adopted by 2 barbaric parents that were, well, they're 2 women that were married. They had 6 adopted kids that they got from Texas. They chose Texas specifically because Texas pays money to adopted kids, and a lot of money, up until the age of 18. These parents absolutely treated them like garbage, except when they were in public with all their little hippie friends trying to pretend that they were this new age couple with all these sort of minority children. And these 2 women ate like pigs at home and gave no food to these kids at all. And they were basically almost skeletons. And they even tried to escape. One of them escaped at night and went over to the neighbors and said, "Hey, could you give me some peanut butter?" I mean, that makes me want to, like, I actually I got teary-eyed when I heard that story on my own. Okay, that's one of the ones. When he was over there asking for peanut butter and enough for all of his siblings to have something to eat too. Okay, then when it turned out that CPS got onto them, you know, they took him in a van and they ended up driving their entire family off of a cliff in California, killing everybody. The only one that hasn't been found is Devontae Hart, which was the nationally known kid for hugging a police officer, I think in Portland or something like that. But where the song comes from is one of the videos out there that has the Hart family in it with Devontae up on stage wearing a zebra outfit. This guy is singing the song with him. And it's just sort of like such a fake crowd and everything. It just, the whole thing just drove me nuts. So we use that for the Kumbaya moment, even though it's from a dark place. I know the story wasn't as happy as you might have wanted it, Jim, but what was the guy's name, by the way, again? The singer? Yeah, he goes up and hugs the singer, and it's like, say I'm a warrior. Yeah, it's a pretty shitty story, Jim. I have videos out there from a lot. Yeah, I don't think it was it not? I don't think it was Nako. That's somebody else. Yeah. Yeah, there it is. Xavier Rudd. Zozo got it. Here, I'll show you. I'll just do a little bit of it right here. Let me put it up on the screen. Yeah, right here. See, there it is. See, that's Devontae Hart there. Yeah. Yeah, anyways, it makes me feel bad. I mean, the music part doesn't make me feel bad because it's just kind of funny, but the, you know, just, God, those parents were some of the worst people that have ever lived. Very abusive to the kids in all aspects of everything. And they were just used to get money from Texas for each kid. But they pretended they were just so new agey and so awesome. to all their little friends at these little get-togethers. Just disgusting, you know. I think that's one of the stories that makes me the most angry out of all of the cases that I've done. Just sick. Yeah, me too, Mac. You've probably been around since you've been, but even before we were covering that one. If you ever get bored, you should go watch those. Man, absolutely horrendous stuff. I mean, we nailed it too. We had them, knew exactly what kind of people they were and everything right off the get-go. And they had these idiot friends that were all like, "Oh man, they're not like that at all. Really? Look at their refrigerator filled with meat and food and all this stuff, and the kids got nothing. Bloated bellies, skinny legs. I mean, they were all stunted growth, every single one of them. This one girl was like 13, and she was like 2 feet. You know, I mean, it was like an infant almost. It was crazy. I mean, ridiculous. Yeah, remember that one? Yeah, what a joke. Yeah, he seems like he's probably a pretty good performer. You know, he's probably not too bad of a guy. You know, Xavier Rudd. But it's weird if you type in Xavier Rudd and heart, that's the video that pops up. So obviously people are associating it somehow with that. Yeah, there we go. No, you want it again? Yeah, there you go. Well, thank you. One more Xavier Rudd rant. So there's no press conference like that troll came in to say? Missing an opportunity. Yeah, you know what I missed? An opportunity looking around for 30 minutes for something that didn't exist. Yeah. Okay, you guys. Well, another whopper. 3 hours and 34 minutes. Hopefully we get some answers in Scotty's case. You know, they need to get answers quickly, too, you know. Oh, they don't have to do anything, but, I mean, actually, the most important thing is getting accurate answers, so however long that takes. But it's better when it's quicker, because then it avoids the internet wildfire that takes place. Oh yeah, well the backstory for that one isn't very, it's pretty dark, Jim. But no, I appreciate it anyways. But we use it in a humorous way because it has nothing to do with, I mean, nobody was dying in the video or anything like that. It was just part of one of the videos that, you know, it's like I use Grady Judd, right? Well, he's always talking about death and murders and shit, but he's funny too, right? So, yeah, I wouldn't make, there's no jokes being made about the cases themselves. So I appreciate it. I think this sound that was actually from a press conference we were listening to. Okay, I mean that was so loud that I go, oh my god, I got to get that one to keep you guys awake. And then this one is what a sheriff. This sound effect here is from a sheriff who was discussing how his deputies shot like 50 times at a killer, and this is what he said in response.
Evil can never be dead enough.
The greatest answer you could ever imagine. Okay, and then we've got... Yeah, that's the EVP thing that we do all the time.
This guy may be like the dumbest person on the face of the earth.
Right, and then we got the Chewbacca one. We've got...
I would say that people can disagree. That doesn't change the truth.
Boom. Love that one.
Slow your roll, shorty.
That's from the Kanika Jenkins case. Slow your roll, shorty. This is...
I'm fired out of it, 10 down, 15 on.
Greatest auctioneer ever. And then we got all the Grady Judds, then the from an interview, recorded interview while he was in jail with his son Buster, and
it's the house
in the 911 call. So there you go, you guys. You got it all. Oh yeah, I got to get that one. That one's a good one. That's one of Ada's friends actually recorded that one and the
drama.
I mean, she should actually be doing that, selling these things. She does that so perfectly.
Drama.
Right? Yeah, she does the okay bye and what was the other one? Oh yeah, she does all of those. Yeah, okay bye and bitch please. So I got to get those back in there. Maybe put that in a message on Facebook so I remember to get those. All right, thank you to Kami, Zozo, Adniram, Ashy Snow, and then Rebecca Green, member, Kelly Snyder, new member, then Christy Kazi gave away a membership, thank you, and K-Dog, Lane Dune, Christy Kazi, Cheyenne R., Griminator Patty, Candalee Woodward Stone, Susie Clue, Scoutin' Dude, Tosh again, and Tosh another time. So almost a double cat eye with the combinations there. So thank you very much. Then John Dunn, a new member. Then Mag with a cat eye. Then Mark, Cheryl Bullock. Let's see. Scoutin' Dude, and then Mag with a double cat eye there. Thank you so much. And then Jim Lon, Christy Kazi, Adniram, Charity Dunning, Scoutin' Dude, Renee H, Christy Kazi, then Callie Gal 3 with the cat eye, Eugenie, John Dunn, Christy Kazi, John Dunn, Gloria Batari, Jan Martin, SV Kathy, Ashley Snow, John Dunn, Jamie, Pepper Dobby Smith, Jennifer Cardillo, John William, Jim Lon, Carissa Goodwin, Jamie, and also, I don't know if Mark's still out there. I'm sorry if I misread your messages, but you know, it was just kind of I didn't know what the hell you were doing. But I put you back in because I was thinking maybe I got that wrong. Who knows? And I was right. Thank you for a great show. Hey, well, thank you. Appreciate it. Well, I'd like to, on my show where we're all we learn some of these cases together. I mean, the cold cases, it's hard because you got these newspaper articles. But I do have some interesting ones. Tomorrow, at some point, I think I might do that story, the Leonardo DiCaprio movie case from. We'll just do a live stream and go over those two articles, and then when the movie comes out, you'll know what it's about. Mm-hmm. Yeah, does it go straight to it? Well, thanks, Gary L, aka D Sims. Yeah. Let me see. Well, if you don't have it, I gotta get to it right away if it's not. Yeah, I remember that one, Blaze. Oh yeah, I used to have a little video of that. That was pretty weird. But I got rid of it once I realized that there was one person that liked it way too much all the time, wanted me to play it every 5 seconds. Okay, hold on a second. Hold on. Yeah, how do you know which one? Hold on, I gotta... Just the one? Yeah, P1M... Yeah, okay, so I got the right one. Go to 2230. How do you know? What do you mean go back 22? God, I hate when people just don't type it in the right. There isn't a time stamp 2230. Oh.
Hamilton 95.4, 1042.
Oh, there it is. Hold on.
95.
Cancel the call for the record. Northwest just showed up.
Clear. 5 for 3, I'm out of the bridge. Clear. 9420, same traffic.
Yeah, I know it's military time. It's just stupid how they... No, it's not military time. They're talking about 22 on the... So you have to scroll it in from the right side about 22 to 2230. That's what she said. It doesn't have 2230 on military time. It doesn't have it. Sorry.
Eighteen 637. 38.
Is it playing? Yeah. I'm just got it generally in the right place, I think. Yeah, I mean, it goes out to 11. It's like a 12-hour long thing. It doesn't have a military time on it.
151, you put me 10-6 on break. 151. See, that's going to be 9mm on the model. George 2 Charles, 9mm for the model and the caliber. Serial number is going to be Brown. That's correct. She's valid, operator 0. Signal lady, go ahead with your 1032. Okay, it's going to be a Taurus G2C. That's going to be 9mm on the model. George 2 Charles, 9mm for the model and the caliber. Serial number is going to be
Oh, in the upper right-hand corner. I see. Hold on, let me look at that again.
Okay, serial number is going to be Adam Mary 118.
Okay, let me try that. $22.30. Okay, there we go. Okay,
Good.
Hold on a second. I thought it was in the up bottom.
I found the vehicle parked there. I'm getting there, Jackson.
Hold on, you guys. Almost there. Okay, we're at 2212. Oh. Let me keep moving it. 25.
9014.
Okay, so it should be somewhere around in this area. Yeah, this is on, they have a website, I guess, for Delaware County, Indiana, that just records scanner audio all day long. Maybe somebody in the comment. Oh, they don't leave the comment open. So it's at, supposedly it's at 22:30, so I'm on 22:27 right now. Okay, I'll move to 22:29.
Do you have a unit available that could check out a disabled vehicle at the 142 mile marker 70 eastbound? Caller saying that the description they can give is a semi with a white trailer.
Street reference to standby.
My closest unit would be coming from Henry County in Newcastle.
All of our units are 10-6. If you could start them that way, please.
There.
The CP believes that the subject possibly has knives on the better way call. Check, they advise they did have knives.
Anything with the knives?
Fifty 139, okay?
Just assign that to us. We'll take care of it.
2234, you're saying? Okay. I'll put it on 43. 22.
I'm about to ride from the check welfare.
Hotline.
Eaton EMS, North Hartford and East Terrace, front Amos, check out. Time out 2232.
22, are you confirming you found him? Affirmative. I've got him with Mom. He's still in the same clothes that we had in the description.
What is Mom
Clear.
doing there?
943 from back 1041.
How does Mom be there already?
1041's been notified as well.
Yeah, that sucks.
147, are you there as well?
Right, I'll turn it around.
Are there any more related to it?
.174 arriving.
Also, thank you to Lisa Cardwell and John Dunn on PayPal there.
Radio, Amos 32 is going to be en route.
Clear.
Does it keep going, or is that about it? I wonder how the mom was with him. I mean, maybe he came home and then she called and they went over. You know, I don't know how that would work. I don't think...
1837.
Well, I guess we'll have to find out what happened, but it's almost like he came
37.
home. Then they called police to say, oh, he's here, and then they came.
Security check.
9422, we're going to be en route to RPD.
10-4, I'll have EMS meet you there. If you can, go to the PD. They're going to have your patient there. 37, they advise it's too dark to see, but it looks like possibly a truck at the neighbor's house caddy corner. Possibly stuck in the yard.
Right,
Homeowner's
well,
out of town. The person keeps walking around outside the vehicle.
Here's what I'll do. Let me rewind it a little bit.
10-4. 2, we're going to be...
Okay, so... Copy, bit, copy. No, it doesn't let you copy anymore with the time code, or is that it? No. Well, anyways, here's the link to the video here. Okay. And then what you do is you have to scroll until up in the upper right-hand corner it says 22:33. Okay. So it's actually about 2 hours and 38 minutes from the end, but all you have to do is just keep scrolling until you see it say 22:33 and then just start listening. All right, so here we go. It's in the video right now. But anyways, let me get the spin in here really quick. So we're gonna do I guess we'll do a notebook again. That way you guys can, whoever hasn't one can get one. Here we go, here we go. Here we go. Who's gonna win? No, it already said that, Blaze. Well, yeah, we don't know if he was found with, but it said that. Cheyenne R wins the notebook. All right. Oops. Yes. All right, everybody. Well, thank you all very much for being here. I gotta use the facility, so I probably won't have Mary Lou joining with you guys. I'll ask her. Do you want to join in, Mary Lou?
No, I do not.
Okay, thank you. All right, you guys. Thank you very much. We'll see you in a little bit. And as I always say, everybody, until next time, be safe out there. Where is it? There we go. Yeah, I've been doing this true crime thing for quite a while now. And during this whole time, I have not seen one person that is a crime dissector, plug rejector. I'm a certified human lie detector. Gonna get ya on a stretcher if you try and play me like an old projector. Crime sector is my nectar. Professor Grader's gonna give another lecture. Crime collector, freak connector, and I'm always gonna be a pup protector. Fool deflector, interceptor, and I'm meaner than a specter with a vector on his pector. With all respect, y'all, just remember I've a temper fucking checked ya. I have no agenda, I'm no pretender, and I'll serve it to you straight without the blender. And in the end, I'm gonna send ya on a mission to reveal the true offender. Yeah, so I'll just get right back to work. All right, everybody, talk to you later. Thanks, everybody.